It's loading. Okay. What's popping? What's dropping? This your boy live and direct in full effect out the 832. Y'all already know how I do. Live and direct in full effect with my boy out the 662. Y'all already know how he do. What's popping and what's dropping, brother Craig?
Man, not much, man. We got a little action pack. We got a good little show today. We're gonna talk about some takeaways of the NFL draft from what I've seen so far. Um, Also, we're gonna have to. It will be a couple of fan questions, but we got one that's worthy of answering, which is kind of like a topic. Gonna be talking about the bull. Well, I take away from the Last Dance of part one and part two of the book about the Bulls. And Jimmy and I, we also expressed our issues about it with ESPN on that shit. And speaking of topics, previously on the Jimmy J Smooth Network,
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy J, take it away.
Well, last week we talked about dealing with older women slash older men and the difference between the two because this is a little difference between dealing with the older guy because quite naturally you look to older people for leadership, so you know as well, particularly older men anyway. You look for older men, even older women, depending on if who she's mentoring and stuff like that. But when we talk about dating, getting into relationships with older women, that's a little different between getting with an older guy because older guy he's gonna be set in his ways. You can't tell him shit. To a certain degree, older women are the same way too. That's the reason why you hear a lot of older women talk about, hey, I would rather date somebody older than me or as old as Methuselah because hey, that's a thing. That's the only man they really gonna bow down to. That's not to say they can't date younger guys, but you're almost in a boy toy position. If you're between 5 to 6 years older than an older woman, y'all do better off just fucking. I'm gonna just be honest. I'm just keeping it. A lot of older women want to be looked at as cougars and stuff like that. But here's the thing, older women. A lot of times y'all not willing to submit to your guy, and a lot of guys need that cooperation and that assurance that he's still a man, regardless of how much older than you are. Yeah, there's some things you could teach him, but when you're set in your ways, you kind of get like the relationship is not going to work out as it is if a guy is dating a much younger woman. So, and I told you the downsides about dating older women. There's definitely downsides. There's really more downsides to dating younger women, unless you have a younger woman with a whole bunch of baggage and a whole bunch of bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Bullshit notches under her belts, or a bunch of relationships that's unmeaningful. That's a whole nother conversation in itself. I'll tell you about. We'll get into that on another day. But older women, when you deal with older women, they probably got 1 or 2 divorces under their belt, at least one under their belt. And there's a lot of insecurity there. It's just what it is. You're going to think twice about getting with anybody, whether he's older or younger. But is in a lot of cases, if you're a young guy dating a older woman, that's not the best way. That's not the best relationship to get into unless y'all have a lot in common. Let's say you're one of those guys that's a young cat. You ain't trying to have no kids. You ain't trying to have no kids or nothing like that. That's an ideal relationship with you, because a lot of times if a woman's 40, 50 years old and you're 45, 40, I wouldn't recommend a dude 35 dating no 50-year-old woman. That's just you're just cutting it close right there. I just would not recommend.
That's past cutting it close.
That's cutting it close right there. But if you're one of those guys that's in your 40s that's not trying to have kids, a lot of women at that age, she damn near, unless she gets do the Janet Jackson or do what a lot of these Hollywood people do, she can't have no damn kids. So that's an ideal situation for somebody who not trying to have kids. So that would work for you. Other than that, if you're trying to have kids or you're trying to have a meaningful relationship, and that's not to say older women cannot provide that for you. It's just the downside, it's more downsides to it than it is upsides to it. But without further ado, man, I'm gonna let my boy Craig Smith II take over from this point on. Chop it up, bro.
Well, Jimmy, you had something to ask me because, and the reason, Jimmy dodged this very well, somewhat. I had an issue recently, and I'm not gonna say the person's name.
Agreed.
Not gonna say the person's name, and like I said, this person is 6 years older than me. Okay. I was aware, I was very well aware of something that they had to take care of a couple of days ago. All right. So I got a phone call. They asked me what I was doing. I said, I haven't too long. I just got up and whatever and stuff like that. Now, in a jokingly manner. Now, Jimmy, I'm pretty sure when you have to, if you somewhere, you getting some stuff done, like if you at a barbershop or if you at a barbershop, and in most cases with the women, they at the beauty shop or whatever, they sitting waiting on their beautician to stop running their mouth or worrying about their child for taking out the chicken if they took the chicken out the freezer so they can fry it when they get home, or or let alone if you waiting on your car to get fixed, or you waiting on somebody to come, if you took somebody to the store, you waiting on them to come on out. Normally most of the time, you're gonna do what most time? Doze off, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
So I told this person, I said, damn, it must sound like you just woke up, while you waiting on something. In all matters, I got chewed the fuck out about this shit. Then they said, well, since it sound like, and these were their direct words, and I quote, well, since it sound like I just woke up, I'll talk to you later on. Okay, so I went to work that day, text them, asked them, hey, what's up? What you doing? Jimmy J, I sent you the screenshots of that hilarity.
Oh yeah, it's hilarious.
Which is just real fucking hilarious. You come talking about some leave me the fuck alone. I don't listen because and it just it really just go to show. But the whole hilarity was I was being called out by by my name, a hoe, a bitch, and all the other little stuff. Even even most everything that was said was just so fucking hilarious. And I'm not going to say about how this person was acting because I kind of knew they were. Hashtag sip sip.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of knew they were. But let me put this person on blast right quick. And this is the Let's Draw on Some / Jimmy J Smooth Network jackass wall. I don't need to be with you if you're gonna, well, let alone associate myself with you. If you're gonna go on the fucking biz for yourself and call me out my fucking name. Men, Jimmy and I said this as well. If you dating we know an older man ain't gonna take no shit from a younger woman, or we'll do one better. We know an older man ain't gonna, a man and a woman that's the same age probably and stuff ain't gonna take no shit from each other. Mainly the man ain't gonna take no shit from an older woman going into business for themselves to call them out their name, calling them a bitch and a hoe and everything else. If you have been divorced once or twice, if you had 2 failed marriages, which the second marriage of this person, how that ended, and which is not, and Jimmy not going to go into detail, but it raises a few eyebrows. Okay, you follow?
Yeah, I'm following you, bro.
Yeah, that the way this person's second marriage ended raises a few eyebrows. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Now, I don't know maybe the person got something mentally going on that's fucked up with them. And I'm aware of what happened to them in their past life. I'm well aware of that. But if you got to feel the need, that go to anyone that wants to be with me. If you got to feel the need to call me a bitch or a hoe, you don't need to be with me.
Mm-hmm.
Point blank. It's something mentally fucking wrong with your mental faculty if you gonna get pissed off at me because I was joking with you about how you was sounding while you was taking care of business. Something is seriously fucked up wrong with you.
Mm-hmm.
And that go for any woman, because you got some stupid ass women that be quick enough to want to put motherfuckers on block. And then I showed you and then Jim, I'm not gonna get in detail. I gave you another laugh about something. And my partner, shout out to the horseman, fellow horseman himself, Adrian Williams. That's my guy. He said, wow. He said, but wait a minute. I thought you were on block though. You know what I'm talking about, right? What I sent you, right? Yeah, that was yesterday.
Yeah, that was extra ultra hilarious there.
I'm like, wow. I'm like, wow, okay. So you to this person, you gotta be seriously fucked up. And my suggestion to this person is this: you need to get you some fucking help.
I agree.
Straight up. Because one day, matter of fact, they got yet to meet my sister, Lola. Shout out to her, by the way, who lost her baby brother on her Father's Day, and condolences to them. You, Adrian, my boy Mario, my boy Murph, shout out to Trey Murph, even if you will. They would tell this person, don't fuck around. You're gonna fuck around, push Craig into doing something his ass gonna regret doing. And all it was, they were just looking for a fucking argument. This person really needs some help. They really fucking do. Hell, the whole goddamn world got a whole lot of shit going on their plate. Like we got, like this COVID-19 shit that's going on. Okay. We don't, and then everything else, people owing money and stuff like that. You need fucking help. And fellas, if a woman go out the way to call you a bitch or a hoe or whatever, guess what? Leave them the fuck alone. just leave him the fuck alone. Ladies, that's the same way about you. If a guy call you a bitch or a hoe, you leave his ass alone too. Because anytime when somebody's calling you a bitch or a hoe, what they talking about themselves and their mom.
Mm-hmm.
And me being the person who all the names that I said on here that I gave shouts out to, and everybody know, hell, even my man, hey, even my ex-wife. Now, a lot of people may say, well, Craig, you divorced, so you got a red flag. There ain't a red flag on me. It's my fault my marriage ended because my ex-wife didn't fucking listen to me and allowed her two children that was living with us at the time into our marriage, trying to chime in on our business. Also, that's my fault. It's my fault for me being a man by standing my ground about that shit. Yeah, okay. So I really technically think that that first divorce is a red flag on me. It's just a lesson learned. Mm-hmm. What I can do, what I should do better, and what I need to do better. What basically things when next time if I do decide to get married, things that I need to do better and what not to do. But never has my ex-wife called me a bitch. Matter of fact, I take it back. She called me that one time. I reprimanded her ass. You want to talk about a reprimand? I reprimanded the shit out her ass, and she knew better. But any of the women that I've ever dated, they ain't gonna never, even one, and me and her, we friends to this day. When we were together, we never went out the way and called each other a bitch or a hoe or anything else like that. We ain't never went out the way with each other to disrespect each other like that. Never. But for this person just to go into business for themselves and fucking disrespect me because, and I quote unquote, I didn't listen to about what business they had to take care of on a certain day. And they always jumped the gun. And this person always jumped the gun about saying that I'll never listen to their ass about shit. Okay, stuff that they told me would happen to them. I really pay attention to that shit.
Yeah,
I really do. The problem is, their ass just don't fucking listen. They gotta, it's something, like I said, it's something in that mind that's all fucked up. And I wish I had Professor Xavier the X-Men's telepathic powers. Because I told him, I said, if I did, I would fuck your mind up. And really and go into your mind and find out what the fuck really wrong with you. So, I mean, do I got a problem? But really, first and foremost, they will Craig, well, do you got a problem with some things that she did? They did? Yeah. Yes. That's why I'm putting their ass in this jackass wall right now. And it's also for all the ones that want to date older women, because we do have some older women that listen to this show, Jimmy. I didn't know that.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Because we got some I got some good feedback on that. I just put up a little email on that. I got some good feedback on that topic we covered.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna read that aloud after we cover all the topics with all the fan questions. Matter of fact, I'll read that after I'm done with this. But with this person here, man, I'm just gonna have to leave that alone. Till they get their issues and all this other shit that's going on right now with them. They lost. Yeah. But it's old saying, it's an old saying I heard once before. They lost gonna end up being someone's gain, and then there'll be their funeral in the end.
That's true.
So, I'm just fucking done with it. And and it's like, and seeing this person basically want to try to program me into, how did Murph put it?
Mm-hmm.
Basically, have my boy Murph put that shit. Trying to program me into being something what they want me to be. When you just reiterated what we both said on last week's show. We can't change, if we dating whatever, we can't change another person's ways. It's up to them to change.
Mm-hmm.
They got some fucked up ways about themselves. You can't change that. Is they ways sickening? Yeah. Some of their ways are they ways sickening? Yeah, it can. But it's sometimes really, and here's a lesson I learned from that. It's not with this particular person, but it was somebody else. I ain't supposed to speak on that. I mean, like my ex-wife told me that I'm in no business to change her. I said, no, you need to be in the business for yourself to change yourself. I mean, come on now, you get to eat, you leave food on the like I shared them horror stories. Well, I woke up one morning to get ready for work, fucking half-eaten food in the damn sink.
Mm-hmm.
Shit like that. Them horror stories right there. But no, I mean, ladies, you feel the need, you got to call your man a bitch, and a hoe. You don't need to be with him. And also, to this person here, You can ask my ex-girlfriends. I'm far from being a weak ass nigga. I'm far from being a weak ass motherfucker. And if you decide to fuck with me the wrong way, I'll show you what this quote unquote weak ass nigga would do. I ain't gonna put my hand, because see, you know, clearly this person needs some help, and there's a lot of baggage. There's a lot of baggage left over at the baggage claim of the terminal that they have to get rid of. So all I'm saying is I don't. There's a lot of shit that I don't stand for, and person going out my way disrespecting me and all this other little shit. And you know, and Murph, he kind of took his jazz about, you know, making fun of me. I don't play that shit. You know, when a person disrespect me or whatever, I don't play that. You know, I ain't got time for jokes on that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I even told this person, hey, I ain't gonna take this shit from you, man, for real. You know, maybe the last ones that you were with did, and you got away, luckily, but I'm not. And I told them the wrong person. They fucked around and said some shit to the wrong person. Yeah, you know, next thing you know, you be on the damn news as a fucking statistic, being reported as a murder victim or whatnot. You know, and you know, you never know what some of these dudes is capable of, man. But the women either. When it comes to that department, when enough is enough, and they didn't get the point the first time, some of these motherfuckers resort to that shit, man. You know, so I'm not gonna resort to that. I'm not gonna deal with this person. It's just gonna be from a distance. You know, until they get some fucking help about themselves to figure out what the fuck they want to do. You know, that mental faculty and all this other shit. Talking about, and then he'll say something about that they don't get along, they don't sign. Yeah, we're both Libras. I get along with other Libras too, but I said, no, the thing is, you just choose not to get along with me. You know, talking about we don't get along. I mean, if we don't get along, why we talk? Why we talking? So all that fucking hilarity and shit like that, man. I'm 41 years old, man. I was gonna say I'm 42 years. I'll be 42 years old. I ain't got time. I ain't got to the age and point where shit. I'm just sick of folks, especially people like them in particular. So I'm done with that. You want to chime in on that?
Well, I mean, again, when people start resorting to verbal abuse, me personally, I think the best recommendation is leave their ass alone. Sometimes it's just better to walk away from a whack ass situation than to continue to, you know, deal with that. If me, I don't know how you're gonna handle it, but my recommendation, and this is for anybody, I would tell anybody the same thing. People start popping off at the mouth, you got to charge them to the game. It's no better. It's no better recipe, because sometimes you could smack a bitch upside the head. That's not gonna do no good because you just putting yourself in position to catch a case. But what you can do is you can be like, leave me the fuck alone. I don't want to. The minute of the chick, I'm at the point now when a motherfucker just start bumping their gums to where they're disrespecting me. It's you're done. You don't expect me any motherfucking more. You gonna respect me. That's one thing. Me being an older dude, I'm not gonna hit you. I'm not gonna do anything. Just get the fuck out. Let's get the fuck out. Let's get the fuck out. That's the way I get my get down. Telling a bitch to get the fuck out, telling a woman to get the fuck out is more effective than, verbally abusing her. I ain't got time for that. If I gotta do all that, then you're not equipped to be my woman anyway. You're not meant to be my woman anyway, because now you don't respect me at this point. It's important in a relationship, at bare minimum, to have respect. That's the thing. at bare minimum, there needs to be respect in a relationship. You don't gotta like me, you don't gotta love me, but one thing you're
But
gonna
you will
do,
respect me.
but you will respect me, and you're gonna bring equal value to the table, whether it's the equal value I perceive as it to be, or we both agreed upon this relationship to be. So the thing is, with all these wannabe dating experts these days and telling you you should be more feminine to your woman, you should be more sensitive. Man, fuck that. If you don't respect me, if you don't give me the necessary sensitivity, female sensitivity that I need as a man, bitch, get out of here. We don't need two masculine beings in the same household. I can get that. If that's the case, if I wanted masculinity, I would be a fag. Other than that, we're not gonna have that. I like women, so goddamn it, you finna act like a woman. When you start crossing those boundaries, you know, that's where a problem gonna come in at. So regardless of whether you're dating a younger, older, whatever, establish your respect. If respect cannot be established, it's best both of y'all go one way and you go your other way. That's what's most important more than anything. If your female really love you, she gonna respect you. If she don't respect you, you make the decision as a man to charge her to the game, because charging her to the game hurts more when a woman knows they lost a good thing. Because I posted something or shared a post yesterday about a woman who was dating a millionaire, but he did the Eddie Murphy in Coming to America. Basically, he did a version of that without doing a version of that. Right. And she really didn't know what type of money this dude was pulling in. He had money, but he didn't show it off. And there was one part of the post to where she was talking about she wanted $50,000, but he was willing to offer her $30,000 for Christmas. And she do the $30,000 in his face and spit it on him and walked out and said she wanted a divorce. And then years later, come to find out, she found out that through his parents that he was a millionaire. You know what I'm saying? Because they passed it down. You know, his parents ultimately, you know, croaked and died, unfortunately. But he became a millionaire through that way. You know, he had access to the inheritance, but he only had so much to play with. But with him being married to her, you know, he was very low key. You know, they protected the assets and everything. But what ended up happening was he ended up getting remarried. And I think she said it was a Maserati, some shit like that. One of them expensive ass cars. He drove right past her, and she was feeling real shitty. And you butthurt now because you fucked up. I'm like, bitch, you fucked up. Just accept the fact you fucked up and charge that to the game. But the moral of the story is, you know, my point is have the willingness to walk away. If you don't have a willingness to walk away from your relationship, you don't need to be in that relationship. Because, you know, there's nothing wrong with loving somebody. There's nothing wrong with liking. There's nothing wrong with having some type of an attachment to your girlfriend, boyfriend. But if you don't have courage to walk out, if all else fails, you ain't ready to be in no fucking relationship. There's too many people that get into relationships that'll take abuse. It takes all types of fuck shit. And then, you know, they go back years later and be angry and bitter. You need to have you need to have 1 foot in the relationship and 1 foot ready to walk out that goddamn door the moment that you know your relationships don't walk out. Your relationships don't turn good. So that's my take on that. What's popping and what's dropping, brother Marcus Johnson, man? You said your ex-wife had respect, ambition, with having a small town mentality doom your relationship. Yeah, having a small mentality fucks up relationships and shit.
Man, yes. Mark, what's up, Marcus?
And before men get into relationships, you got to know, you know, even if your woman is not on your level, You got to know if that woman is willing to listen and willing to be upgraded. If she's on the bottom of the totem pole, if she has the right mentality, that's something to work with. But if she doesn't have the right mentality, is not open-minded, you got a problem on your hand, because now she's trying to put herself in a fucked up position. She's trying to put you in a submissive position. In retrospect,
I was blessed to be delivered from that situation because I was on the edge of doing some crazy shit. Hey, me too.
Yeah,
me too.
Yeah, I agree. And it's a good thing you got out of that situation. But that's why I say what I say. You got to be 1 foot in the relationship, and you got to be 1 foot ready to walk out if push comes to a shove. There's nothing wrong with loving your woman, having 10 toes down, but you got to be willing to walk out. If push comes to a shove, that motherfucker don't give you what you want. That person ain't trying to upgrade you. You got to be ready to get that. That's my mentality. You know what I'm saying? I'm not hoping for the best. I'm not hoping for the worst. I hope for the best. But the thing is, you got to know, in the back of your mind, always pay attention to details. When you get with your woman or lady or, common law wife in the state of Texas, we're one of the 35 states, 14 states that's common law, 20 states, that's common law in the country. But you got to be ready to put that foot down and ready to walk. That's the thing. If you're not ready to walk, you ain't ready to be in. You're not ready to walk down that aisle. Shout out to Steven Jackson.
Man, what stack? And also, and another thing, ladies, we really don't need. Most men don't really need y'all. We pointed that out, which leads me to pull up this feedback from a lady by the name of Gail in Memphis, Tennessee. She said, "Hello, Craig." Hello, Craig said, listen to you and Jimmy J. Smooth's show last week in retrospect about the guards with the consequences of younger men and women dating older men and women and vice versa. I have to say that both Craig and Jimmy are indeed correct. Said my situation is a little different. I'm 44 years old and I'm dating a man that will be 40 this year. No issues, no problems. I have enough respect for him. He doesn't have any children. I don't have any. He doesn't have any children. I don't have any children myself. But Jimmy did make one good point about the fact that most men do not need women, and that is true. Some of these women today do not know what it is to appreciate to have a good man in their life. Regardless, he can be 35 years old and can be my age, and I will still appreciate mine. And that is mainly what is most of the problem with most of these women, young and old today, especially women my age and above. Keep up the good work, enjoy the show, and continue. And I hope we'll continue to enjoy more. Thanks, Gail.
Respect to that. I truly respect that perspective right there. And again, keep doing what you're doing as a woman, because there needs to be roles in a relationships. You know what I'm saying? And you need to agree on what roles y'all have before y'all even get married, before y'all even get extra serious, for that matter. So, sometimes the woman is better off managing the money. Let her do that shit. Sometimes your man is better cooking. If he can cook, hey, and she can't cook worth a damn. Hell, sometimes it's just better for you to switch those roles, but you don't want to switch masculinity to femininity. That's a whole nother conversation in itself. That's definitely not. If you put yourself in too much of a submissive position as a man, woman is gonna lose respect for you. You know what I'm saying? And you don't ever want that. So, nevertheless, man, women gotta stop taking advice from their goddamn single mama who ain't got on the scoreboard, for lack of a better term.
Hey,
a lot of these women give their bitterness as advice as opposed to success as advice. You hear me? Mm-hmm. They give their bitterness as advice versus success. And you got some married people, and I'm gonna clown some of you married motherfuckers out there. Not all, but a lot of you motherfuckers. a lot of you motherfuckers who marry give bad relationship advice too, because a lot of you niggas, Negroes, end up in shotgun marriages, and you give out bitterness your damn self. Your marriage is so, you've been married 30, 40, 50 years. And usually people who've been married that long, they have good marriage advice. Not all of them. Just because you've been in the NBA for 50 years don't mean you're a good coach. So, and that goes with marriage. Sometimes somebody ended up in a shotgun marriage and they give you shitty ass advice. And I've learned this in my 20s. When I was in my 20s, I kind of figured that out in my 20s. I'm like, some of these motherfuckers, you don't need to just be taking marriage advice from. There's a difference between being married 30 years and being happily married 30 years. Yeah. There's a difference between being married 50 years and being happily married 50 years. There's a major difference between the motherfucking two. You know the difference, because man always be like, he's so happy with his woman, man. A man, and I don't recommend guys put themselves in this position, but I know guys that were so happy with their marriage. They were like, man, if that woman asked me for half of my money, I ain't gonna have no problem giving it to her. Now, me personally, I would want to protect. I would want you guys out there to protect your assets, because there's a reason why prenups are put in place. There's reason for that. You know what I'm saying? One of the main reasons is you want to keep as much money as you can, so you can pass it down to your kids. Because let's say you have to split half with one woman, and then the next minute, that woman ends up getting married to another dusty, rusty ass dude that ain't got shit, ain't gonna ever be shit, and never will be shit in life. Even if a genie rubbed the lamp and told that nigga you finna be shit in life. That's how ain't shit motherfucker. That's your woman. I'm just being real. Even if this motherfucker ain't gonna be shit, even the genie rubbed the fucking lamp, told him to rub the goddamn lamp so you can be shit. That nigga can't wish to be shit in life. And let's say she get took to the cleaners. Now, what you were supposed to pass down as wealth, now it's so divided that now you can't pass none down to your kids now. So that's one of the reasons why prenup put in place. Also, I mentioned this before when we talked about a wrestler who ended up getting the divorce back in March of last year. Sometime around March, April of last year, sometime that around time.
Who was this?
We talked about this years ago. We talked this about a year ago, but you was talking about a wrestler that even with a prenup, he ended up having to pay half with a prenup.
Damn.
You talked about a wrestler. Want to say because you talked about this with the Ultimate Warrior. What are these guys? What are these white guys? He was a millionaire, With him, he got lucky because he ended up making money back because he was in Hollywood or something like that. But I want to say it's a wrestler who either recently died or was one step from dying. But I could be wrong about this, because we talked about this during the Bret Hart show. I would have to go all the way back, but my memory. But I know it was sometime last year during the Hall of Fame.
Now I know Warrior died. Warrior died back in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
And his brother had put his widow on blast.
Mm-hmm.
Cause she was getting ready to lead it. She was getting ready to lead it, man. It was getting ready to lead Ultimate Warrior. Said when the money started running out, when his money started running out, she was thinking about leaving that man.
Mm-hmm.
But damn, I gotta
yeah, but it was on that show. You would have to go all the way back because
I can't remember it either, man. But I think I know what you're talking about.
It was a night show on a Monday. When I had a full house one time, my boy was cooking fried chicken and spaghetti. It was a full house that night. I remember it like yesterday because I could hear it, but you couldn't hear it. But from what I understood, but it was a late night show last year around March and April. But I mentioned this before. Just because you have a prenup don't mean a woman is not going to get any money out of the situation. Guys have a misconception of that. That's not all the way true. And Steven Jackson also proved my point. A prenup has to be agreed with both parties. That's first and foremost, especially in the state of Texas. I'm gonna lace y'all with some game. I know I'm taking more time than I normally take with one topic, but we have to lace people with game as much as possible because that's why I created my YouTube channel. But just because you have a prenuptial agreement does not mean women is not going to walk away with anything. And just because you don't have a prenuptial agreement, ladies, that don't mean you finna walk away with some shit that like you think you gonna walk away with shit. Remember Paul McCartney's divorce, and his ex-wife only ended up walking with $100 million out of McCartney's net worth of now $5 billion. You know, he walked away good. He even had a prenuptial agreement, and that was like his third wife, something like that. And she was getting clowned all over England. But he had great enough attorneys to where they was like, okay, that woman just want money, and he was able to walk out clean, which is good for Paul McCartney. But with a prenuptial agreement, in most cases, unless the judge or arbitrator makes a decision, and I'm saying arbitrator, but which could be an attorney or somebody in the law enforcement that is playing a judge. That's what I mean by arbitrator for those who don't understand. There's a lot of ignorant people out there, so I have to be direct as possible. So I'm a point A, point B type person. But unless the judge or arbitrator rules in your favor, that prenuptial agreement is, the judge or arbitrator don't have to view it as valid. That's another thing. Also, if you're in a state like Texas, where you're in a community property state, that prenup is not going to mean a lot. Now, what it will do is in Texas, you'll be able to dictate the terms of the prenuptial agreement, which meaning, okay, let's say your net worth is $2 billion. You can, before you go to the judge, you can negotiate a settlement for $200 million. If there's a prenuptial agreement, she might not be able to walk away with no more than $200 million. And the only way she can contest that is she has to be able to prove that you committed adultery. She has to be able to prove that within the confines of the court. If she can't prove that, she's going to still walk away with something, but you're still going to be able to hold a lot of your assets. Also, with a prenuptial agreement, if your wife owned a business with you, that does not apply to the prenuptial agreement. Look at Jeff Bezos.
Yes.
Jeff Bezos, even though he didn't get take to the cleaners, the company wrote her out a check for $64 billion. Amazon wrote her out a check. So he didn't, he has so much money, and he's have so much perpetual residual income, which means unlimited income or unlimited capacity to collect income for those who don't understand. He has so much residual income that he got so much money that he's able to negotiate things. So Jeff Bezos' net worth is still growing, So in that capacity, if your wife owns half the business, you're going to still be paying half. You might not be paying half of your personal net worth, but you're going to still be paying. That's the thing you got to understand. Also, I'm going to tell you guys, even though Steven Jackson did not have to go to court about this situation, it is not a good idea to walk away from the altar. 40 of the 50 states in the United States of America have a thing called a breach of promise, which means if you walk away from the altar, even though you're not, even though y'all not married, and you can do that, but there's legal consequences to that. A woman can still sue you for a breach of promise. If you got a whole bunch of her family members coming all the way from one side of town or one side of the United States of the world, and you walk away from the altar, not only she can sue you, her other family members can sue you, because now you're taking days off, you're messing with my income, and 95.5% 95% of jobs have a thing called with the if you get married. Let's say I wanted to go see my friend Vino, which is a close friend of mine, the very guy who taught me how to drive. Let's say I wanted to go see him get married, and then all of a sudden, him and his wife get the cold shoulder at the altar. I can sue him because now he's fucking with my compensation at this point. 95% of jobs have a thing called if you get if one of your friends or family members getting married, you can take a day off, whether it's an excused absence, whether it's a unpaid day off or a day off. Even if it's a paid day off, I can still sue him because now it's a travel. You know, he's messing with my. You know, I could charge him for the travel and all the other stuff, the hotel, lodging, and all that. I could sue him for that. So before y'all do the Steven Jackson and think that's cool, that shit ain't cool. If a motherfucker ain't signing no prenuptial agreement before the night of the wedding, you want to call that shit off before then because you don't want to be paying out a whole bunch of money for breach of promises. You don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to chop that part of the game up with y'all so y'all know before y'all actually do it. And yes, the state of Mississippi and nearby Tennessee has that law, and Arkansas does too. So you're not out the woods either. So I just wanted to chop that up with y'all in terms of that. You got anything else you want to add to that?
Well, Marcus, he replied, he said, my ex-girlfriend was 12 years older than me, but she was immature and wanted me to skip the natural phases and stages that a man in his 20s goes through. But the kicker was that she couldn't have kids.
Man.
Yeah. Well, some of the women that I've been with, some of them say, you know, like one person in particular, they still can have some. Okay. You got some women at my age, man, that can still pop it out. You know, but then you got them ones that say they don't have no more damn children. The next thing you know, you see their ass, they break up with you, you see their ass, oh, they belly full. They belly full for 9 months, you know. Them really the ones that I'm be honest, them really the ones that really don't need to be having any damn children. I mean, because when you ladies, if you gotta lie to somebody by saying that you don't want to have no children, just be upfront. Just say I don't want to have none by you. And then you turn around, you regret having that child by some old hoe ass nigga. I'm saying because it's a bunch of, like Jimmy said, you in the country, mainly in the South, it's a bunch of hoe ass niggas everywhere. But the biggest hoe ass nigga population is 80% here in the South.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
So yeah, so if some of you ladies, you know, young older women, y'all want to be with that whole ass nigga, hey, to each his own. So we're done with that one. That's all I got. That's all I had to say about that.
Okay, yeah, and I definitely feel you on that, brother Johnson, on that as well. The next topic, NFL draft, man. Wasn't a surprise Joe Burrow was gonna go number 1. Nobody in the world was shocked on that. Tua, the second quarterback pick, nobody was shocked on that. That's not even remotely a shocker.
No.
But the kid from Oregon being the third quarterback pick, that was kind of a shocker.
Yeah. You Herbert, yeah, he went to the Chargers.
He went to the Chargers, so nobody was expecting that pick to happen. But I would like to say shout out to Willie Taggart for building the foundation of him being a great quarterback.
True, yeah.
You know, and it goes back to my point. Willie Taggart, in the words of Corey Wolf, black ass should have stayed at Oregon because he had something good going on there. Oregon, number one, they wouldn't have threw him out as fast because he would have got at least 4 or 5 years of his contract completed, regardless of what he did at that point. And the foundation he built, his assistant coach took the ball and ran with it.
Yeah, and basically the assistant coach still kept the same staff in place. But the only thing, but I think the only difference was Willie was calling plays because it's his offense. That's why Herbert got good. And Willie did go on record and said that Herbert was lazy. He said Herbert was lazy. When he got there, Herbert didn't want to know the play. He didn't want to learn the playbook. He didn't want to be taught the correct way from not only just him, because Willie Taggart was a quarterback himself.
Yep, under Harbaugh's dad. Under
Jim Harbaugh's dad. Because he said Herbert was he said Herbert was a work in progress. He said, but when he got a hold of him that first year, he improved. He stayed on Herbert's ass. Because Herbert was late. Herbert was lazy as fuck. Herbert wanted to do his own thing, but said when the coaches got on him, and said when Willie personally got on him, he got better. He got better.
And he was one step getting kicked off the team because he was late to a lot of those meetings and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing people don't talk about either. He was late to a lot of those meetings. And like you said, he was lazy. But Willie had that conversation with him, and that changed the whole dynamic of his entire career. But continue, sir.
Yeah, he had that. Yeah, he had that. Willie had to have a come to Jesus meeting with Herbert there. But one thing I noticed about Herbert, so he has his moments where he takes too long getting the ball out of his hand with the pocket when the pocket collapses on him. And he's got a little bit of speed to him. I think he should utilize more. Now, when you're in the NFL, you in the NFL, I'm gonna tell you something. You only got one good cup of coffee being a good mobile quarterback. After that, that's it. I look at Lamar Jackson mainly. I always say about like with Michael Vick and Jim Moore. I not senior. Talking about junior. I didn't like how Junior had that offense for Mike, programmed that man. Look, gonna tell that made the man become a run first, pass later quarterback. No. And they always talking about Michael Vick never had a good ass arm. I think when he got to Philly, and really, when I'm getting off tangent about Michael Vick. When Michael Vick went to Philly, we saw, even though Mike was a little bit past his prime, we saw the old Virginia Tech flashes of the old Virginia Tech Mike Vick come out. He busts out a good run, but YouTube Michael Vick Monday Night Football performance.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That was, and he I don't know if he's right or left handed. He was flinging that ball.
He's left.
He's left-handed. He was flinging that ball, Jack. Running 5 touchdowns in one half, and then I think he had 6 total. Damn. But with Herbert, man, that was a shock. So, because like I said, Herbert was a lazy motherfucker.
Yeah,
like Taggart said, he was lazy as hell.
Yeah,
but when Taggart gradually worked with him, he improved, and really, then when Cristobal took over, man, he got a little bit better. And then they said, and Herbert was vocal because he says just something like with the offense and stuff like that they were calling. It was a step back from what Taggart ran his first year. So the offensive coordinator, he took a job at and he took the UNLV head coaching gig. Joe Moorhead is now the offensive coordinator at Oregon. So, and they said that Herbert was a little bit vocal with the offense, because he got tired of the offensive coordinator, calling the same shit. He's, man, hey, we predict, you got to change it up a little bit. We too predictable. You talking about open up the playbook, and I was on the Newtopia Sports. One guy, I ain't gonna say his name. He's like really in the inside of Oregon football. Okay. He said Herbert got on that man. Herbert chewed that man out, told that man, hey, if you talking about open up the playbook, you always telling these folks the same stuff. Oh, I'm gonna open up the playbook this year. He said, but I'm going out there. He said, stuff that you telling me to run and telling me in different codes. We ran it, we already ran that play.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and sometimes Herbert, and really, and I always say going into business for yourself is a bad thing. Sometimes Herbert will go into business for himself and change the fucking play. As a quarterback, you got a right to do that. If you don't like what you see and how the defense is lined up, you got a right to change that play.
But you got to know when to do it as well.
And when to do it.
That's the thing. I don't knock anybody wanting to change the play, but you got to know when to do it, as opposed to just doing it for the hell of doing it. That's the thing about that's the thing about just doing that shit just to be doing it. You got to know when to do it, because if you just do it just to be doing it, you putting yourself in a fucked up predicament. But continue.
Yep. Well, I'm gonna hear a good little analogy. You remember that movie, The Replacements, with Keanu Reeves and Gene Hackman?
Saw bits and pieces of it, but don't know it in detail. But yeah, I know about the movie.
Yeah, okay. There was a scene in there in which Gene Hackman had told Keanu Reeves to like on the fourth down, he wanted him to run an inside draw. Ted run back, but then they was like, Coach, if we run the inside draw, we gonna lose the game. And Keanu Reeves told him, man, that he said, run the inside draw. So Keanu's character, as predicted, he told everybody in the huddle, he said, we're gonna run the whatever it was, 22. That's talking about ISO 23 draw. And then I think Orlando Jones, he was a wide receiver. He was like, dude, we'll lose the game. We run this play. He said, I got it. He said, we're gonna run it anyway. So Keanu ran it. Sure enough, defense showed blitz when they showed up his run. So what Keanu Reeves did, he changed the play in the play action. Orlando Jones's character, wide receiver character, he got open. And now, it was the other wide receiver. He was deaf. He couldn't talk. So Keanu communicated him with a way that all of them knew how he communicated. Keanu Reeves threw the ball to the dude. They won the game. Gene Hackman got mad as a motherfucker with him. He talking about that wasn't the play I told you to call. He said, hey, I read blitz. They were running blitz like I said they were. But Gene got mad as hell and told him, hey, but that wasn't the play I told you to run. And then Gene Hackman later on, when he looked at the film, he was like, damn, he was right. Even I didn't see that coming. But yeah, like Jimmy said, man, if you're a quarterback, Herbert had every right to do it. But if you're a quarterback, you got every right to change at the right time to call or to change the play. If they reading blitz and you say hike, you better get that ball out as fast as you fucking can. So now one thing I like, but I'm gonna tell you about with the NFL draft though. I think it was more deep about with wide receivers. I think Philadelphia, along with San Fran, I gotta try to tell Murph. So he dodged that. The Dallas Cowboys got a steal by getting CeeDee Lamb from Oklahoma.
Yes, sir. Out of Fort Bend County, out here in Houston.
And he already thugging it up already. The way he looking on his got gold in his mouth. I said, look at this motherfucker here.
Man, he's from the south side of he's from the south side of Southwest Houston, man. What you expect, nigga? Come on now. He from the hood, man. Come on, man.
And then then there's a video of him snatching his phone from his girlfriend and shit. So
as he should. As he should. I ain't got no problem with that. Hell. she up going into the man phone. Get out of here, man. And it's been a couple of times where during the draft, this is the first virtual draft, which this is a good thing about it being a virtual draft, it was a good and a bad thing. The good thing was, you know, they ain't have to be in front of the motherfuckers looking like slaves and shit like that. The downside is you got these girlfriends. Shout out to the new Tennessee Titan, Isaiah Wilson, his white girlfriend, you know, getting up there trying to get out.
Oh yeah, his mama took her ass off the couch.
and it's nothing. And here's the thing, you know, I don't have no problem with who he date. I'm not the dick police or anything. That's not my call. Also, right. I don't have no problem with a woman being affectionate or anything like that, but that's the wrong time to be, you know, get a nigga a hug, kiss him, and then get your ass up, motherfucker. That's my thing about the whole situation. I don't blame his mother for doing that because, number one, you're trying to get all the shine. She did that on purpose because, number one, you know, I think he's from out here, I think he's from like Dallas somewhere.
Ain't that kid from Auburn?
He went to Georgia, but he's from Texas somewhere. But nevertheless, that woman was just draped up on him. I'm like, no, get your ass up, bitch. I mean, you know, that's my thing. New York City. Okay, he's from New York City. Okay, Brooklyn. I thought he's from out here. But
damn, that's rare. A football player from New York playing in an SEC school.
He's the second Titan from the city of New York. Keith.
That's shit. New York not known to have any good football talent, man.
Testaverde's from New York. Testaverde, but he was a hit or miss quarterback. Anyway, he wasn't a bad quarterback, but he was hit or miss. Great college quarterback, but just wasn't. He was inconsistent quarterback in the leagues. I'll say that. I can't say he was bad.
Until he got with the Jets.
Yeah.
Under Bill Parcells, he was good for 2 years, and then after the Jets didn't even the Jets had that shitty year. I think because the Jets went 4-0 again the following year, and he fucked around towards Achilles. And the Jets didn't even make the playoffs under Parcells. I'm like, damn.
Yeah. But New York is definitely the city of New York. They've had a few guys come out of there. I know Keith Bullock is from Brooklyn. Because I remember one time he went on the south side of Nashville and got robbed. He was like, man, I lived in Bed-Stuy and I ain't never got robbed in my life. And I come on the south side of Nashville and get robbed. He said some shit like that. It was on front page news out in the state of Tennessee. But nevertheless, people, when your boyfriend, future husband, son get drafted, stop making it about you, man. I mean, it would have been good if they had this shit in it was supposed to be in Las Vegas this year, but since we quarantined, you know, everybody had their little cameras on, their little webcams on to see them get drafted. Guys, stop making it right. I mean, I don't have no problem with people being affectionate, people in a lot of those
go for the parents too.
Yeah, that goes for the parents too.
Especially if you remember that one when the lady, you remember that, right? The lady wanted I think her son or grandson to go to Alabama, and she got up mad as a motherfucker. He chose Tennessee.
Yeah.
No, he chose Florida. I think it was either Tennessee or Florida. She got mad as a motherfucker.
Yeah, it's a lot of attention whoring with these damn parents and girlfriends too, because we saw a shade of attention whoring that going on, you know, with the girlfriends, you know, grabbing his phone. Just stop doing unnecessary motion. Kiss your nigga, kiss your boyfriend, kiss your man, and keep it moving. Be like, hey, this your shine. Sometimes some of you women just need to get out of the limelight.
Thank you.
Sometimes y'all women just need to get out of the limelight. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. Case in point, Sam Perkins' wife. Now, a lot of people don't know what Sam Perkins' wife looked like. I don't even know what Sam Perkins' wife looked like. But you know why? Because she stays out the fucking limelight. Most NBA players, I'll say about 98% of NBA players, you know what their wife look like. But you really don't know what Sam Perkins' wife looked like. You probably know because, you know, you do your research just like I do.
I haven't seen his wife.
But that's a good thing to a certain degree. Sometimes it's just better to keep your wife out of the limelight. It's nothing wrong with sitting your ass down and enjoying the money that you have. It's nothing wrong with sitting your ass down. Really, in all honesty, people really did not see Vanessa Bryant until Kobe died. She was a low-key woman during the time.
But half the time, but wait a minute now, she has made some public appearances though, even when he was alive.
She made.
I mean, when he was a rookie, whenever they started dating, yeah, they well, I think whenever they started dating, I think she said she met Kobe because Kobe started hollering at her. Cause she was just, I think she was doing some, I think she was like at a parade or something. Said she was just like with one of her friends. She hadn't said he did. Said out of all her friends, he came up to her.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Kobe.
But yes, she has. I mean, she did. She has been at the games and shit like that. You know, even when he was in his career, I think because she always sit behind Jack Nicholson.
But for the most part, you did not see her like that.
But I know most time you did, but you didn't see her like that. But when you did see her, her and Jack was shooting the shit. Her and Jack Nicholson be shooting the shit most of the time.
Okay, exactly. Which makes my point. You did not see her like that. She did not speak like that. She wasn't out there attention whoring like that. Everybody was always when Kobe got in the situation with Steffi and Becky up in Colorado. She was cool. She was like, okay, he did his thing. He's still young. Okay, I'm not finna get rid of this 700. Damn near finna be $1 billion husband. I'm not finna like y'all. They were talking about Vanessa need to divorce Kobe because Kobe.
Oh, bro, hey, and I'm gonna tell you something. I don't know what race Vanessa is. I think she looks like she's mixed. She got some She's black and Italian. I can see some Italian in her. I'm gonna tell you something. Italians got an Italian chicks got attitude just like a fucking black woman.
Yeah, I think she's either mixed or Mexican. I think one of them. She could be mixed with both. She looks very mixed, but nevertheless,
yeah, she got some Italian in her, dog. And when that came out about what Kobe did, and she just came out with it. And I think she at one time put ESPN and a whole bunch of folks on blast. Said, "Listen, I don't have to do what y'all. I don't need to do what y'all want me to do as far as with my man goes. He's the father. First of all, he's the father of my child. I'm not going to do him like that. I forgive him, unlike some women out here." I'm like, damn. You know, so many words. Vanessa put motherfuckers up in their place, dog.
Exactly.
She had every right. She had every right to say what she got to say. Now, again, like you said, like with these NBA players, we're doing another little subplot topic here. You never see anything about Sam Perkins' wife. That's true enough. Now, in real life, I always say this, and Jimmy has some mixed views about it. Some people have mixed views about it or whatever. I don't know if I told this story before, but back in 2016 in January, shout out to Jason Thomas. Because I just moved to Huntsville, and early that year he had invited me to his birthday party during that year, 2016. So he said, "Hey, yeah, you can bring your wife up here and stuff like that. That's cool." She didn't want to come, but the way how some folks was acting at his damn birthday party and shit, no, it wasn't that. It was his brother's housewarming. It was his brother's housewarming because his brother, his brother lived here. It was his brother's housewarming, and because I think that was the time we had because I had to drive up to Alabama to get married to her in June, because it was in July. I think, matter of fact, it was toward the end of June, July 2015, that his brother had his housewarming. So she couldn't make it, but Jason had the best fucking saying ever was. He said, crazy. He said, I ain't trying to say anything bad. He said, maybe it's a good thing your wife didn't come up here. He said, because the way some of these niggas would act, way some of them niggas was acting up there, bro. Said, man, it wouldn't have been a good idea, But really, and I've said it here, like as far as with your job and stuff, like
you know, like Jimmy told me, he got him said last week, he got him an older woman, he got him a younger woman. Good for him. And I told my personal life, ladies and gentlemen, it is not a good idea to introduce your wife or your husband or boyfriend or girlfriend to your job, to the people you work with, because there are some motherfuckers that you're gonna have some people that just that will go out the way, that'll go out of their way to be inappropriate and just do shit, you know, be disrespectful towards someone. You know, I've been saying that multiple times, you know, and I've said it again. I didn't like the fact my late father introduced my moms to some of the folks he worked with. Now, some of them he had every right to introduce to them because they were good people. I'm talking about that other bunch. It's the others. And I told you what he told me about what he said. He didn't give a fuck. When I told him, man, yeah, no man just introducing them like that. So they ain't shit. He told me to go fuck myself. So I've told that story countless times, but it's best, you know, at times, hey, you know, you have, you know, whether you're NBA, NFL, NHL player or whatever, you have a right not to introduce your wife to that life.
I agree.
And by the way, if anybody has Bounce TV, I guess I remember I plugged Any Given Sunday last week. Sure enough, Any Given Sunday came on the day after Jimmy and I did the show. And that's why I said, look at that scene when Layla Rashawn was at that party with Jamie Foxx.
You
know, and Jamie Foxx, man, his character, man, he a perfect example of a mother. He a perfect example of a fucking quarterback that won't learn. When Layla Rashawn got on his ass, said, hell, I know more shit about it in this damn. I'm not even a football fan, can tell you what they finna do and what not do in this playbook. See, you can't fucking read a playbook.
Damn.
He basically let go of a good woman. I'm like, damn. Called her a hoe and a bitch. I'm like, damn. You know? But yeah, man. I mean, like, you know, like Jimmy said, that fella, look. And I'm not the dick police neither. Get y'all decent woman.
Exactly.
If you finna be in the league and all this other shit, because you know y'all dating y'all pumping these Instagram models and shit and getting all these little country bunking ass. And I'm not racist. I'm gonna go here publicly say on here. There's some white girls here in South Haven, Mississippi that's built like black women. Okay, I wouldn't mind dating a white girl. I would not mind. Oh, she decent or whatever. But fellas, my black men especially, man. Hey, when you going pro and stuff like that, stick with your own kind.
Or I'll say this: if you're going to date outside of your race, make sure she's bringing equal value to the table and not trying to get a alimony settlement.
Thank you.
That's my thing right there. If you're going to date out of your race, make sure it's worth dating out of your race. Make sure this motherfucker got your back. Make sure this motherfucker can bring something to the table. Don't get with nobody that you know that has an agenda. Because to me, I feel like hopefully that brother Isaiah Wilson ain't in no position to where he gonna lose, what he gonna lose his assets going into the NFL. But if you're going to date out of your race, I have no problem with who people date. People date who they gonna date. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that motherfucker can bring something stable to the table. Other than that, you're wasting your goddamn time, because a lot of people date white women, just because they think white women are better than black women, and that's not you shouldn't date nobody because of that. You need to date somebody because that person is in your corner. You need to date somebody because that person is an asset to you. I say this all the time. Don't date nobody because you love them. Date somebody because you're an asset. That person is an asset to you. That person can bring more than what you could ever bring. money included.
Date
Sometimes.
somebody that, like, and basically what Jimmy's saying, date somebody that compliments you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Date somebody that compliments you.
Yeah. Cause like I say, I don't have no problem with you guys dating, but I hate looking at you guys, you know, dating one white woman, and then all of a sudden you another Michael Strahan, and you got to work on talk shows. You know what I'm saying? Looking like a damn fool. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not knocking Michael Strahan. Michael Strahan getting his money right now. He probably making more money with them talk shows now, but
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Mike. I'm gonna tell you something. When I first heard of Michael Strahan, how he carried himself with the Giants, and when he started getting the TV, I knew he was gonna be better. I knew he was better at it. And in fact, when I first seen him on Fox, he doing NFL on Fox, and he doing Good Morning America, and he got his own show. Him, Keke Palmer, and the other girl. I think Mike is making and then plus, for maybe his residual income from the NFL when they show us highlights and stuff like that, and I think, back in the past, I mean, hey, Mike got an older son, he got a grown son, and he dated, he was married to a black woman at first, and the woman that he got had the two daughters by, yeah, she just batshit fucking crazy, but. He's smart with it. He making more money. I think I'm put it like this. I think he making more money on both ends, TV regardless, because shit. Then how it was getting. It's not my business. Check talk about the man's pockets, but I think he doing real good. And then Kelly Ripa called herself getting salty because he left. Bro, I fucking leave too. Good morning, you, Jimmy. Would you pass up opportunity to work on Good Morning America and then turn around and might possibly have your own fucking show?
It was time for him to get on down. It was
time.
I
mean, he really, and in many ways, but so before Regis left, he really upped up. When you look at it, it was the cool's coup. When she got Michael Strahan, they elevated each other. That's how Mike got noticed, man, for real. Just said, like, his first day, he wasn't nervous. He said he just nailed it. Kelly said she just nailed the shit, but she was getting salty because of the fact he left. I mean, again, I answered the question, would you, if you was on somewhere with Kelly Ripa and Good Morning America coming up your face and say, Jimmy, you're going to be on Good Morning America and you got an opportunity to have your own show, you would jump at it, right?
Yes, just like I jumped at my driving opportunity, my truck driving opportunity. And, you get it, like Corey Wolf say, sometimes in certain situation, you have to get it to where you're while it's hot, in certain situations. You don't jump on all situations like that because like Willie Taggart,
I feel he shouldn't have jumped on that, like
because he
already said, his black ass should have stayed in Oregon.
Because he was in a situation with Eugene. And Eugene, he had a great situation. You know what I'm saying? But his black ass went to Florida State, Florida mistakes, and got kicked out of that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? You had a great foundation at Oregon. Stay your black ass in Oregon. That's a situation where you don't try to get hot. Because Oregon was the situation that was hot. Oregon, okay, we're not knocking you on Oregon. Okay, that's a good idea. You got access to the California talent. You got access to the Texas talent. Then you already have a recruiting base up in Florida, just in case you got to bring somebody from one side of the United States to the other. So jump on it while it's hot. But don't jump on another. Don't put your hand on one hot potato and then grab another hot potato, because eventually your ass gonna get burned. And that's exactly what happened. So, but nevertheless, you know what I'm saying? Strahan made the right decision. And I think he was smashing Kelly Ripa. Is the way she was acting. She was acting like that nigga was smashing her ass or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because all jealous in her feelings and talking about how selfish Michael Strahan is on his last day on the show. I'm like, dude, it's time for him to
Well,
upgrade.
But from what I found out, from what other people were saying, Mike was carrying himself like, hey, it was his last, he wasn't being selfish.
No, he got an opportunity and he jumped on it, and he needed to jump on it. I mean, because he had to pay a lot of his NFL contract to his ex-wife. I mean, the divorce was so shady, and he self-destructed himself to where he had to pay her until he retired. That was the divorce terms.
Yeah, that was fucked up. So he retired, and then the fucked up part was she still wants some more money, and then like, no, It just Strahan took her ass to court, and the judge ruled in his favor. Said no, he stuck to his word commitment. What you need more money for?
Exactly, because he fucked up because he signed. It was a prenuptial agreement, but what happened was he signed it in her favor, and instead of it being 50-50, she got 65% of his income. Especially from the NFL. So when he was playing, he was barely. I'm not saying he was still doing good because he lived in the richest neighborhood in New York. The New York, right. the suburb in New York he was living in, you can't live in that motherfucker unless you got money. I mean, he was living outside of the New York. He was living outside of the city of New York, up in Long Island. In that part of Long Island, you have to have money. You know what I'm saying? You have to have money, and then you can't get in there unless you know somebody in that motherfucker. They're gonna point the door to you. They're gonna be like, who are you looking for? And they're gonna if not, they're gonna point the door to you. That's the part of New York he lived in. So he was still doing pretty good, but the divorce settlement took a big chunk out of his income. So he couldn't live, he couldn't do too much. But then when he got on that show, that kind of brought a lot of that income right back to him and stuff like that.
And you could tell Mike, and I'm put it like this, you could tell Mike that burden was lifted off his shoulders, man. Because he doing good for himself. Because I know, I know he got an older son that's in college, and then he got the two girls. So he doing good for himself. And I don't think he's back in the dating scene. He dating a black woman. So I mean that's good for him. But but we got into such time out with the wives and women, the players and everything. But with the draft though, CeeDee Lamb, the Eagles, they drafted his wide receiver, Jeremy Rager or something like that from TCU. I'm mad at the 49ers. And like I said, shout out to Trey Murphy. He don't care. They had an opportunity to get CeeDee Lamb. And in fact, Minnesota made a cool pick too by getting Justin Jefferson from LSU. Shit, Justin could play both the slot and the flank. But he'd do more damage in the fucking slot. And really, Minnesota did need a slot receiver. So that basic ass offense that Mike Zimmer won't, well, whoever the offensive coordinator be now, since they main offensive coordinator, he's in Cleveland now as the coach. I think that was a good pick. But then San Fran got this dude named Brandon Ayuk from Arizona State. So they said the jury's still out on him. I mean, he made first rounds, the jury's still out on him. What I was shocked at the most, the pick I was shocked with the most, Green Bay drafted Jordan Love, the quarterback from Utah State, when they need fucking wide receivers.
And
Ryan Clark said it best. Aaron Rodgers right now is at home pissed off. But then again, Green Bay may be ready to move on from Aaron.
But here's the thing with Aaron Rodgers. You don't go around, if you don't want nobody to move on from you or potentially move on from you, you don't say you're on your way to retirement. He's been saying, numerous different occasions, that I'm at the end. I don't feel sorry for you Aaron Rodgers, and the reason being because you've been saying you're at the end anyway. And as a club, as a business, if somebody's at the end of the road in terms of, if I know my employee, is about to retire in 5 more years, I'm going to get somebody that's going to be ready to take his place. Like when I left my last job, I straight up asked my manager, because I'm so cool with the head guy in charge, which his name is Joseph. I fucks with him tough. I text him every once in a while, see how he doing, how his wife, very beautiful children that they have and stuff like that. But I was concerned because I respected him. And he's probably the best manager, if not the best manager I've ever had. I can go as far as saying that. Now, the people under him with the dry snitching motherfuckers that be trying to get people in trouble, I can't say the same for them. But I can say the same about the head man in charge. You know what I'm saying? I even asked him, like, hey, I straight up asked him, because I had that type of relationship with him. Like, dude, who you gonna replace me with? I straight up, because my get down when it, we have similar ways of doing things, just like FedEx do.
Right.
Most warehouses.
And by the way, I didn't mean to jump on that. I got a topic I'm going to address with you about them too, about FedEx.
We're gonna get on that. We're gonna get on that on this show. We got time. We got more.
You heard about that too?
We got time. But let me finish my thought. Let me finish my thought process. I even told my boy Joseph, because he's right around the same age I am. So we grew up in the 90s, graduated in 2000s, early 2000s. So we're close in age. But I talked to him and I was like, who you gonna replace me with? Because he's a good friend of mine. I consider him a good friend of mine. Who you gonna replace me with? Who you gonna replace me and my boy with? Because when we leave, like, even if I do come back to that motherfucker, I'm gonna be a truck driver. I'm going in asking for $20, $25 off top, $25 an hour off top. If I do go back to that motherfucker. But my thing is, I asked him, I'm like, hey, who you gonna replace me with? Because you got a lot to replace. With my partner, who's currently in truck driver school, he'll be taking the CDL test next week through the third-party examiner school. He left the week after I left. We was like a tag team. We held that whole company down. We held the shipping side of what we was doing. We held the whole shipping operation down. He held it down from the office standpoint. I held it down from the actual slaving and craving standpoint. I held that whole place down, and no disrespect to my Mexican friends, but them Mexicans are hardworking people, but them motherfuckers didn't have shit on us. Them Mexicans was looking at us like, what the fuck this nigga doing? Mexicans are hardworking people, but they was like, this motherfucker work harder than me, goddamn it. I can't match that shit. They were literally saying, you had Mexican guys on the job, It was like, what the fuck? This nigga, this negro mucho trabajo.
I get Mexican props too. They work their ass off also, man.
They work their ass off, but they didn't have shit on us. I'm gonna tell you that right now. No. And they will tell you, my co-workers, who laugh at my jokes and shit like that, they will tell you that motherfucker is a hard-working motherfucker. And and they were sad to see me go when I left. They were sad. They were like, damn, man, this motherfucker, I can't bullshit now. I gotta work my ass off. Because they could not replace, because I drove the forklift, I unloaded the material and got them to their locations, and I was doing that. Sometimes I would do my shit so fast, the last 2 hours of work, I would just be bored as fuck. I would have to find something to do, literally create something to do for the last 2 hours, because I killed it. You know what I'm saying? So, because I kept because what I did was I did the simplest things. It may take me a while to do it, but I made the shit simple. because people at that job was making shit so fucking complicated to where I had to clean up for them, but I made it look so easy. It was crazy. You know, it was hard. It took a minute. It might took a few hours, but once I got it done, it was like, bam, everybody's job was easy. Same in the office. People would make shit so complicated, the job would be, you know, would be hectic. But once he cleaned up everybody's shit, you know, you got like, damn, man, I ain't know that shit. So, you know, with the relationship I had with my guy, I had to tell him, I'm like, hey, who you gonna replace me with? And he couldn't really give me an answer because, you know, the COVID-19 had slowed everybody down and stuff like that. Even though my job was an essential business, my last job was an essential business. It was like, you know, it was hard for him to say who's going to replace me with. And that's just what it is. You know, people may think I toot my horn. Yeah, I'm going to toot my motherfucking horn. I'm a hard-working nigga. Toot. Craig can attest to that. Anybody can. I'm a hard-working motherfucker. Hell, my fucking sister could attest to that. When she came down here from Atlanta in July, she was like, damn, you tired of the motherfucker. Just what it is. So people know I work hard. My brother can prove that. You know, I ain't got to lie to you. I have no reason to lie to you, motherfucker. And
I mean, hey, that's thing to be said for me. I mean, motherfucker may think, and I deduce why people call me lazy because I don't want to work. I don't work the way they want me to work. Listen, because I gotta tell you this story here in a minute about when I got on the because I work for I'm gonna go and say who I work for. I work for Amazon. Okay. When I got on nights, next month will be a month that I've been on nights. I ain't gonna say the guy's name. But you know, you got because I put on a little board on there. I told him, I said, man, I said, hey, would it hurt to not rotate everything out? Rotate who doing what every night or whatever. Because in the dock area, you got too many short order cooks trying to be a master chef. And I said, and when you got, and then plus when I ask questions about something, I'm getting less communication. So, you know, I said, so one of the supervisors, he said something to put on the board, not gonna say his name. He said on the board by saying that job assignments are all based off on attendance, attitude, and skill set. Thanks. Okay. I didn't dwell on it no more. I didn't bring it up. You know, I didn't bring it up with him, and he didn't bring it up with me. But this other guy, it's a young man by the name of Dre. Okay. I ain't talk bad about it, but tell you probably like one of the more country ass niggas and shit like that. You know, you walk around a fucking gold grill in your mouth. That's I don't know if it is gold, who knows? Now I'm like this here. I'm gonna tell, you know, there's only several people I want telling me what I need to do. That's the supervisor. Well, the supervisor, the shift assistant, because that's how they got supervisor, supervisor, shift assistant, learning ambassador. That's also code for team lead. Okay, we're either one of them. They are the only three people at that job where I work at online to tell me what I need to do. I repeat myself. Those three, any person in them positions, those three positions are allowed, bold, italic, and capitalized, to tell me what I need to do. So there's one young man, like I said, Dre, great guy. Okay, and we unload trucks. Now, Jimmy, I got two things. I got eyes that can see, and I got a brain that can think. The truck, all the packages in the truck, the Amazon Prime boxes, the Amazon Prime trucks, all the labels are face up. So that way, when they get ready, when the person that's scanning, that's inducting the packages in and stuff like that, they can just scan and put stamp the sticker location where it's supposed to go and go on about their bit. All right, this cat want to tell me how I need to work. He gonna tell me, man, just when you pull the what you call in, just you ain't gotta be trying to flip up all the labels. You ain't gotta try to flip all the labels up, man. Just throw them down. We'll have somebody flip them up so we can scan them. So I told the guy, I told Dre, I'm like, dude, all the labels is up, so all I gotta do is just put them on the thing. So I'm working as I go, you know, boom, 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 like like how you just put the box on, cash checks, whatever, blah blah blah, this, blah blah that. I work my normal pace. So this sap sucker, he come tell me, hey, you just come on up here. I'm gonna get what you call to do that. So, and he couldn't even answer the question. I said, hey, is it a problem with about how I'm working? Oh no. And I know when you're lying. Look, two things and I'm telling people there's two things you ain't in no position to do with me. You ain't no position to book, don't lie to me and don't try to motherfuck me. Do not lie to me and do not motherfuck me, because I've had people that motherfuck me before and I motherfucked them back. And they're in some predicament, and that's why some of them folk, them same ones that I'm not gonna say names as to who. These are folks in the past. That's why they're in the predicaments they in now. So when I asked him, I said, bro, I said, man, I said, hey, you got a problem? I said, is it a problem with how I'm working or something like that? I said, because I don't change my style by how I work, dog. As long as the job getting done. No. Man, when you see everybody with chill, but see what but then you backtrack, and then he gonna backtrack and say, but see what I was telling you what, man. Just though you ain't gonna have time to be flipping the labels when you throw off the boxes. When you put the boxes on the belt, that's why we got the folks up here that's inducting and flip them over. So you flip them up. So tell me about, okay, so tell me why the dude he replaced basically did the same way, basically was working he placed me with, was basically working the shit the same way that I was doing. And keep in mind, the young man is not a fucking team leader. So what the fuck? So you can't say that I got a fucked up attitude, but like, man, everybody at their job come in with a fucked up attitude, don't even know it. They put on a happy face, but in reality, look, when they get in that car, let me tell you something. When they get off that clock between 4:45 and 5 o'clock and get in that car, yeah, they got a fucked up that, the old adage is, if you got a fucked up attitude, you better leave that motherfucker home, because I don't want that shit around me. That was my motto at FedEx. I had to tell the guy, he and I, we cool. I tell the guy by the name of Chris. Shout out to him. I said, man, hey, you got an attitude with me about something, dude, you need to let me know now. Otherwise, should have left that shit at home, dog. I ain't got time for your attitude, and then you be cool with everybody else, and then you got an attitude with me. I ain't got time for that shit. Chicks had, I said, a chick got let me tell you something. Chicks have better attitudes with different than anybody. I told him that one time. He bucked up. He bucked down, but yeah, anybody tell Jimmy or anybody else I'm not a hard worker. Hey, you can kiss our ass. Yep, but continue, sir.
No, that's all I wanted to put out there, man. And like I say, we both hardworking men, and people, you can ask any of our coworkers. We work hard, man, and that's why we're able to get what we want right now. So, what's the next topic we gonna
The Last Dance, parts 1 and 2. Jimmy, I gotta say, because first of all, well, let me get this out while it's on my mind. The pros, very thoughtful. We all knew, and really the true villain of the whole Bulls breakup was Jerry Krause. And also, really, the person that detonated the whole thing was fucking Jerry Reinsdorf, when your own people tell you, don't hire this dude. you gonna fucking do it anyway because they said the last general manager they had for Jerry Krause is better than him.
Yeah, because he built the foundation. He built the foundation to draft Jordan. He put the Bulls in a position to be able to draft Scottie Pippen. It wasn't. You know. Yeah. Jerry Krause made the pick to get Pippen and Grant, but it was the general manager before that put him in that position to do so.
Right.
So, you know, well, Jerry Krause made some great moves. He just got too fucking arrogant, man. I mean, dude, you got too ahead of yourself. And everybody in Chicago knew. NBC, Marv Albert was dropping hints that the Bulls dynasty was going to break up during the Utah series.
I'm Marv Albert.
You know, they were dropping hints about that. So it wasn't like we didn't know why they broke up. We you know, everybody in Chicago knew that. True Bulls fans knew that. So they were dropping hints about how they were going to break up. And Phil wanted to stay with the Bulls.
Mm-hmm.
And that actually worked to Kobe's favor that he didn't stay at the Bulls because I don't think LA would have ever gotten any championships.
No.
Without Phil, they would have never got that many. They would have never got those championships.
Nope.
But Phil liked the city of Chicago. He loved Chicago very much, and Jerry Krause wasn't having it. And Phil is one of the type of guys that was cool, calm, and collective to where he's like, okay, all right.
Yeah. But then when Skip and I think shout out to Skip Bayless, by the way, because I think he's a true Bulls fan too. Because he said some things on Undisputed that even I didn't know. For example, when Jerry Krause didn't invite Phil Jackson to his daughter's wedding, he invited Tim Floyd. Before, and get this. This was all before Tim Floyd. Tim Floyd wasn't even out of his something he had with thing when he was with Iowa State. Tim Floyd wasn't even out of that contract without Iowa State. And I think he was going to, and I think we don't know how true that is, but I don't know if he could have been facing some type of violation like that or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So when everybody found out that Jerry Krause invited Tim Floyd, the coach from Iowa State. Yeah, you know, that's who he wanted. And you know, and really he wanted to crumble the Bulls dynasty down, period. I really think, you know, to be honest with you, you know, some takeaways of the show. Yeah, Jerry Krause, he was the true villain. We learned some things about Michael Jordan. And in part 2, we learned some things about Scottie Pippen that we didn't know about. Like we didn't know that he was one of the most, that he was the ranked 122nd in salary.
Mm-hmm.
We really know Scottie person as a Pippen. We really know Scottie Pippen as a person. You know what makes him tick. And you know, Jimmy said earlier about Libras, the air sign. I'm a Libra. You know, we can be aloof at times. You know, we don't mean we slow. We don't pay attention. You know, at times we can be aloof. You know, we like to, you know, we like to kind of like keep to ourselves. We in our thoughts. You know, we keep our beers out in the streets. And there was a lot of things that, like, yeah, Jerry Krause, he did make some ballsy moves. And I'm gonna ask you this what if question I asked my boy Murph. What if Jerry Krause did not trade Charles Oakley to New York?
That would have been interesting.
And then turn around, if Oakley was still playing around at the time, you got Rodman too. I think Oakley would have loved Rodman.
Yeah, I think with Oakley, I think they would still won championships because one thing they had was with Scottie and Jordan. Those two guys had enough will to win. Michael Jordan's will to win. Yeah. Even without Scottie, would have probably gave him 3 championships with the will. But here's the thing: a lot of people didn't know. Michael Jordan became a mentor to Scottie
Mhm.
when Scottie came to the Bulls. He had Scottie, he told the coach at the time of the Bulls, he was like, I'm finna make this motherfucker be my sidekick. If he ain't gonna play exactly like me, I'm finna make sure he has some greatness. And he told Scottie, you gonna guard me the whole practice. Don't nobody else guard me but Scottie. He told
And he
motherfuckers that. And then he worked with Scottie. He was like, after practice, we finna have our home practice for an hour, 2 hours. He built Scottie in the player that he was. You know, because Scottie did come in there and talk about, I'm going to be better than Jordan and shit like that. And Charles Oakley let him know real quick. Charles Oakley was like,
Yep,
hey,
they
man.
showed the clip. He jacked that man up. He said, no, you ain't gonna be the next Michael Jordan. He said, you're gonna be as good as him when he get done. Get your ass on, rookie.
Exactly. He jacked his ass up. But Michael Jordan had Scottie after practice and throughout the whole practice. And he did that for 3 years. After 3 years, you know, they was on the same scout team. But for that first 3, he had to guard Michael.
Yep.
You know, he had to hear Michael talk bad to him, and because Michael was what is the biggest shit talker in NBA history. It's just I'm surprised y'all motherfuckers didn't know he was that big of a shit talker.
Oh, I knew. Oh,
I'm talking about you a Chicago nigga. You don't count, nigga. You don't count, nigga. You a Chicago
Thank
nigga.
you.
You don't count.
Thank you. But I was about to say, hey, YouTube Kevin Garnett tried to trash talk Michael Jordan.
Oh yeah, that was classic.
Whoa, Michael Jordan made him his girlfriend that night.
It did. Who was it? Isaiah Ryder or J.R. Ryder of playing for the Timberwolves at the time?
They the same person. J.R. Ryder. J.R. Ryder. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Well. Nevertheless,
yeah, he learned his lesson.
He tried to tell because he was killing Michael Jordan. He put 32 on Michael.
Mm-hmm.
But Kevin Garnett made a fucked up mistake, and Isaiah was like, "Don't do it, Michael. Don't do it, Michael." He was like, "Hey, we didn't mean no harm." He was kind of brushing it off, but Michael, it was too late. Once you talk shit to Michael, you gotta do what Kobe did. You gotta get him. You gotta be the silent assassin. When he put that 55 up on Michael's ass during his last game at the Staples Center, you know, he did it. Kobe was mad, and Kobe didn't talk for weeks until he played Michael again.
Yep.
Kobe did it the right way, but you can't talk shit to Michael. Michael's one of those dudes you can't talk shit to. You got to be quiet and then assassinate his ass.
Yeah, and then think about it. I think and Shaq learned his lesson too when he said in Kobe's last game, he said he betted what was that? He said, yeah, I bet Kobe. I said you ain't gonna drop 40 now. He said this motherfucker turn around gonna drop 60. I lost the bet. Cause after Kobe said he texted him, he said I want my bread.
But with Michael, Isaiah tried to brush it off and like, hey, he didn't mean no harm. Man, Michael Jordan killed Kevin Garnett, you know. Mm-hmm. And I was like, damn, you just don't talk shit to Michael. How many stories we got to see to where when you talk shit to Michael, you get dealt with. You get dealt with. That's just what it is. Mm-hmm. Even Allen Iverson, when he put the crossover on Michael Jordan, he didn't say shit to him. You know, he just dropped that 40 on Michael. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? He dropped that 40 on him. And then, you know, like you said, you know, Michael, I mean, AI being so damn short, you know what I'm saying? You know, he said Michael damn near blocked the shot. Had he not arced that shot the way he arced it on the crossover, he would have blocked the shot. You know what I'm saying? Because AI's only like 5'9", 5'10". He's not 6 feet tall. He's under 6 feet tall. You know what I'm saying? People don't, you know, I've met Allen Iverson. I've had the wonderful opportunity to meet Allen Iverson. Very cool, quiet guy. You know.
I met Jerry West.
Say what now?
Great guy. I said I met Jerry West one time.
He's not
Great guy.
Mhm. Yeah, people give AI the bad name, but AI is not an asshole at all. He's a very quiet and cool person.
He got some street nigga ways though. I mean, come on.
He got
from the
nigga.
hood.
If you like a fan, he's not gonna do no fuck shit with you as a fan. Cause I met the guy, so it's a little.
Yeah, now I read something on that. He was at a restaurant thing with his wife or something like that, and one of the fans recognized him. And he didn't, because they were eating. Him and his wife was eating, didn't want to bother him. He gave the fan a nod, said when AI left, he said he walked past the fan and gave him his autograph.
Yeah,
gave him an autograph and everything.
Yeah, because
Shannon Sharp said he the same way. He said, if I got forks in my mouth, because he said he had plenty, he had several people do that. They'll acknowledge him and stuff like that. Hey, Mr. Sharp, how you doing? Like I saw Shane Battier one time at on the board over there on Poplar, him and his wife. And I think they were he's a real cool guy, man. Because I was on a date at the time. This was back in 2004, and he walked in. I said, "Oh shit, that's Shane Battier." He was with his wife. He walked in with his wife and everything. So
yeah, my niece met Shane Battier when she was 2. She had the opportunity to meet Shane Battier. Shane Battier is definitely was a good person around the community when he was playing for Memphis. He was definitely active around Memphis, so I can tell you Shane is a good dude.
He is, and now he works in the Miami front office.
Yeah, so
as an analytics guy, because his major it was analytics.
Yeah, he definitely a good dude.
Numbers guy.
Yeah, so yeah, Shane is definitely one of those guys in the community that really put in some work around the Memphis area. So I tip my hat off to Shane. But nevertheless, man, Michael Jordan being an asshole, that's not a surprise. Some of the things that was put out there with Scottie, especially with the contract, we were shocked at that.
Right.
A lot of people, and there was a lot of stuff that Scottie Pippen's part of the Last Dance that they didn't go to, because Scottie got a lot of baby mamas running around Arkansas. Scottie got 5, baby mamas out there. This ain't me talking. You can look this up. This ain't anybody from Chicago. People from Chicago knows that. You know what I'm saying? Because Chicago is a straightforward. We keep it real, but we stay out your business too. It's one of those type of cities. You know what I'm saying? Same with Houston. Half those people that was drafted in the NFL, mostly you had like at least 5 guys that went in the first round from Houston. CD Lang is from the southwest side of Houston. Couple of other guys I can't think off the top of my head. They're from the Woodlands. Antoine Whitfield's from the Woodlands.
Whitfield Jr. Jalen Hurts was drafted by the Eagles. And shout out to Corey Wolf for posting up that pic.
He lived 10 minutes from me, and I didn't know that until I Wikipedia'd him. I'm like, damn, this nigga went to high school down the street from me, and I lived in Fifth Ward for like 3 years. Didn't reckon. It's so much shit that goes on in Houston. Same with Chicago. You meet it's a lot of famous people from Chicago that you probably don't even run into. I've ran into a couple of celebrities, didn't even have an idea who the fuck they were until somebody had to tell me, hey, that's whatchamacallit. That's whatchamacallit's brother right there. People got to tell you who they is. It's just Chicago the same way. But it's the same.
Like
thing.
I said on here, we're gonna get back with the Last Dance talk in a minute, but like I said on here, my mom went to school with Juanita Jordan's sister. And she even said that when she, that I forgot what her maiden name was. What said the maiden name was, but she said when her sister was up there, she said everybody, said the girls in that family, Juanita included, they were high rollers. They wanted to be they were about that life. I ain't talking about like thug life or nothing, because you know, they wanted to be around established motherfuckers.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
you know, and here's some, and then my cousin, Ruth used to work as Michael Jordan's housekeeper, and said Michael Jordan kept it real, and said she was more, and said that she ran into matter of fact, he said his oldest son had ran into her and had recognized his oldest son Jeffrey. I think Jeffrey got his own, Jeffrey doing his own thing now. But we all know, because we all know Margaret stayed in the news for the dumbest shit. So, but excuse me, I need the salmon dip I made. This shit good as a motherfucker. Yeah, because but what a lot of people didn't know was Mrs. Jordan, Mike's mom, did not want Michael marrying Juanita.
Oh, thank you. I try to tell dumbass people that all the goddamn time. Thank you. Thank you.
No.
Say it again. Say it again. I'm getting my pinky voice. Say it again. Say it again. Oh, damn.
Now, my cousin Ruth, her name is Miss Blanche Ruth. When she worked as Michael Jordan's housekeeper, Michael Jordan's mom and her were talking. And Michael Jordan's mom confirmed it to her that she did not want Michael to marry Juanita.
Man, I need to find a way to cut this part down. I hear her. Hold that thought, because you're a Chicago nigga. You're a Chicago nigga, so you know more about this.
Go ahead.
First of all, Juanita Jordan is 4 years older than Michael. A lot of people don't know this.
Right.
Second, she met Michael right when he got drafted. Believe it or not,
that's true.
Juanita and Michael were fucking more than anything. It was just a off and on fuck buddies. And correct me if I'm wrong at any point, because you know this is common knowledge up in Chicago. When she got pregnant with the oldest son, Jeffrey, Michael Jordan wanted to cover that he just had a baby mama. So they went to the place and got married up in Chicago. You can correct me if I'm wrong at any given time, because you know more about what happened than I did. But it was really more so Michael Jordan fucking her more than anything. And like you said earlier, they were more that family, the Vanoy family, Juanita Vanoy, they were more like they were trying to get them a baller. And if you look up her actual occupation, people said she was a model. She was anything but a model. Fine, let's not get it twisted. Juanita Vanoy was fine as hell. Let's not even.
Hell yeah.
We're not even taking away. I'll fuck Juanita Jordan. I'll
Who would?
I'll skeet up in that. And baby, don't take it personal. That's just what it is. I'm a man. Just accept it for what it is. I ain't gonna cheat on you, but like I say, push come to a shove. She offered me $50 million. I'm gonna have to just get that $50 million, baby.
I'm put it like this: if a prime Juanita Benoit was to come up to me right now and say, "Craig, I'll give you $10 million. You give me 2 babies. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go."
Because the cat name you really gotta know once get them pregnant, you gotta endure 9 months, and then probably wait about like a good 4, 5, 6 months for their body fully recover, pop another one again. You know, yeah. But yes, but I'm gonna stop you there. Everything what you just brought up, that is true. That we brought up, that is true. A lot of people said that, but I'm gonna debunk one. Juanita was never a groupie.
That's true.
She was not. She was not a groupie.
That's
my mom. Like I said, my mom went to school with her sister, Hyde Park High in Chicago, class of '71. She even said the family were not groupies. They had some bread too. But if you wanted to be with them, your pockets had to match them. in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
But again, that is confirmed. That was confirmed. Shout out to Raymond Irby, his mom, Blanche Ruth. I'm not gonna say her last name, Miss Blanche Ruth Irby.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Jordan's mother told her that she did not want Mike to marry Juanita.
Mm-hmm. That's correct.
But in a way, that she kind of understood why.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like a lot of people didn't. I'm just gonna go off tangent. A lot of people didn't want me to marry my ex-wife.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but from looking at it from afar, but like some people would not have said, yeah, Craig, you did do this and that, but still you shouldn't never marry. Okay, I graduated college when I was in Huntsville. I was able to spend, get the things I wanted and enjoy. But, after, the aftermath of that, I'd rather not. I'm back here. So, but yeah, I mean, yeah, that is confirmed. That is really confirmed. And then I'm gonna tell you this here to all you Memphis, especially some of you little Memphis sucker ass niggas. Y'all don't know shit. Okay, like a lot of, did you know, Jimmy, Larry Dawson of the Barcades is my second cousin.
Mm-hmm.
Motherfuckers didn't believe me about that shit. So to all your suck ass niggas that think y'all know more about, want to tell me about my fucking city, what going on in my goddamn city, worry about y'all ass back with city. Cause I ain't saying no names. It's still some of y'all my age still pumping 17 and 18-year-olds.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't saying no names. I know who y'all are.
Yep. And I'm gonna tell you something also. One of the reasons why she was able to get the $168 million settlement, which at the time by a celebrity was the highest divorce before Rupert Murdoch set the record multiple times for divorce settlements.
Damn.
Yeah, Rupert Murdoch had paid $1 billion. He was the first man to have to.
No, his ass broke.
No, he still got money. He did sell parts of Fox, which they have to outright sell it to other people because ABC/Disney bought parts of Fox, and by law you cannot have a monopoly over a business. You can't have a monopoly over business, so they got to sell it to other different branches of people. But that's a whole nother conversation. One of the reasons why
you talking about that, you said Juanita's last name was Bernard, right?
Bernard, yeah. According to,
let me confirm that from the straight source. So you can hear it. Mom, when you said you went to school, the former Juanita Jordan's sister, her last name was what? Bernard, right? Benoit.
Okay, thank you.
But you heard what my mom said they want to pronounce it as Bond, but it's Benoit.
Thank you.
Her name is Benoit.
Okay, thank you. That's all I need to know. Shit.
Y'all heard it right.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's all we need to know. And like I said, y'all know more about the situation because y'all from Chicago. And then y'all close knit to your relatives from Chicago. So that's definitely on deck. But one of the reasons why Juanita was able to get so big of a chunk out of Michael Jordan's estate, even though it didn't affect him because he was already worth 700-800 million at the time of the divorce, so it didn't hurt him. And he even went on Oprah and said he didn't have no problem with it. One of the reasons why, because she was the head of Michael Jordan's real estate company.
Yep, I didn't know he had a real estate company.
Matter of fact, they still own that to this day. You can Google search that right now. They still own that together. Even with him married to Miss Prieto from Cuba,
Ooh, he got him a young chick too, boy.
Yeah, he still owns
the girls look just like his ass.
In the Jasmine Jordan, yeah. With the
he's a granddad too.
Yeah, we know that.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm on Michael Jordan. Y'all can,
Yeah.
hey, people,
Hey,
can talk bad. People can talk bad about Michael Jordan all they want. But this was,
I just ain't a fan of because after my cousin Ruth, well, Miss Blanche, I just call her Miss Blanche. Ruth is a last middle name. I think it's a first name or middle name. We call either one. We really call her Ruth. When she said when she ran into Jeffrey, she needs to get into detail about what Jeffrey what Jeffrey does, but said like seemed like he got a head on the shoulder because he was, they shot the stuff for a while and stuff like that. And thing when they asked, how's how's your sister and everything? She said, I heard your uncle. He said, yeah, I'm happy. He said, Marcus, he said, I don't, he didn't, from what was said, he didn't want to get into too much detail about Marcus. So, I'm not a fan of Marcus Jordan anyway, because the way he called himself trying to fuck over Central Florida when he's playing ball, talking about he didn't want to wear the team shoes, he wanted to wear his dad's shoes. Like, nigga, really?
and believe it or not, a lot of people forget when he played at Central Florida, they went to Gainesville and beat Florida that year, and they beat nationally ranked Houston team at the time. And not only that, Central Florida was ranked number 15 in the country, as high as, but they pissed on themselves during the course of the season. But yeah, a lot of people don't know
that all had to do with Marcus though, because Marcus started a whole lot of it. He started a whole lot of shit, man.
Yeah, but they were nationally ranked. Central Florida was a nationally ranked team at that time. And they went undefeated in the non-conference schedule. But no, one of the things about that divorce was she ran the real estate company that Michael Jordan owned, and she actually she's still a part of that real estate company. She's still the head of that real estate company. A lot of people don't know that. But she could have asked for half. A lot of people don't know she could have half because she was partnered in his business with Michael Jordan. Because what Michael Jordan did, he took the endorsement money that he was making and he was putting it
and gave it to her.
Because Juanita still lives in the Kingsbury house that Michael Jordan lived in, the Kingsbury Estates in Chicago that they initially was in. You know what I'm saying? He gave her that house. Michael went somewhere else. You know better than I do. Went somewhere else. He still has a house in Chicago.
Inglewood.
Correct. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He lived in Inglewood.
He still has a house. Go ahead.
I think. Yeah. I think he got Juanita got that.
Juanita got the Kingsbury house.
He got the Kingsbury and the Inglewood one.
And the Inglewood house. Yeah. But
so
he still has his restaurant out there. He's had his restaurant once COVID-19 get through kicking everybody else. He still has that restaurant at Grand Central Station, So yeah, she could have took him for half. A lot of people don't realize that. But
jump in it. He chose not to. And she chose not to take him for half. She ain't that. She wasn't that kind of person. So we don't know. And really, I am gonna say this: we don't know us Chicagoans, and even though I'm in the South, we don't know what really was the cause of the divorce. We all felt, maybe it's like this here. Maybe they just felt that it was time, because Juanita bless the real GOAT of the NBA. Juanita blessed them with 3 children. They're blessed with a grandchild. Because baby girl got a grandson. And then Michael, he caught a lot of flack by not, with his business endeavor and all this other shit. He opened up a bunch of clinics now in Charlotte. I think he did a little something up in Chicago too. He gives back to Chicago because he always said that Chicago will always be his home because he said that's where he's most recognized in. Hell yeah, you a Chicagoan, Mike. You the one shit. You helped put the Bulls on the map. We thank you. We love you for it. You made shit people that weren't Bulls fans, fucking Bulls fans.
Yeah, because people look at the Bulls as just another team in Chicago. They wasn't really going to the Bulls games.
Because that has been confirmed because the fucking indoor soccer team, the Chicago Stain, drew a better house than the Chicago Bulls. Because they said all the talk of the town back then was the Chicago White Sox and the Cubs. Said the Blackhawks, they were getting their fans. You know? And for the record, I think it was like in the late 2000s, somewhere like that, between, I got to look it up on Wikipedia, the fucking Blackhawks was putting the spark back in Chicago because three out of 4 years, they won three straight, they won 3 Stanley Cups. One year they went back to back. I think the first year they went, they beat they beat the shit out of their ass.
They damn near
they beat the shit, man. It was a sweep. They beat the shit out of whoever they were playing to win that first
one. And they
no call, like damn. They wasn't playing.
Oh yeah, man. And but yeah, you know, with Juanita and MJ, people need to stop speaking on what they don't fucking know in respect to them because you know they had their issues, you know, they met under questionable circumstances, but you know that's their business. That's their business. I'm gonna be honest with you. And
what let me put it like this: what every relationship don't have meetings of questionable circumstances.
Yeah,
you know, but go ahead.
And she got something out of the deal, you know. Regardless of how you look at it, they're still friends. They still have some type of relationship in terms of the kids and the business holdings, because she holds a lot of the capital that Michael estates. So if he dies right now, she'll get, I mean, Miss Prieto, if I'm pronouncing it right, she'll get something out of the deal, but not the way Juanita because she runs the real estate holdings of Michael Jordan. A lot of people don't know this. You know, all you gotta do is just look this shit up. This ain't it's saying some shit. It's just what it is.
You know? I mean, and also the ones here in the South. I mean, you know, I learned a lot of people be too quick enough talking about I ain't got time to do all that. Okay, if you ain't got time to do a whole lot of research, don't come. Why you want to sit up here and bullshit us by saying, "Oh, I know so and so"? You don't know.
You don't know.
You know, you don't know shit about. And I had to bluntly tell one guy, "Look, man, you don't know a motherfucking thing about my city."
Exactly.
I lived in that motherfucker. I said, I lived in that motherfucker by the time I came out of my mother's womb on October 14th, 1978 at 2:30 on a Saturday morning to October 11th, 1990. And that's when I moved here in Memphis.
Yep.
And I still said to this day, I wish we never had a move from that shit.
I agree, bro. I'm gonna be honest,
man. And that was all the fault. God rest his soul, my mom's fault. That was his fault. And then plus, you know, it was a two-way sword. And then plus, we was having problems with our landlord at the time, who was my aunt's boyfriend. Motherfucker wanted to jack the fucking rent up every damn month. On a house, nice house. You know, every house in Chicago had a basement. They had a basement. Then we had like a little basement apartment, and then upstairs had like 3 bedrooms and shit. You know, because the bedroom I wanted, because the house, like the roof, it was a triangle roof, right? On the sides they were triangle. Okay, the room that I wanted was the one in the back. So that way I could see, you know, put a blind or a curtain up. That way I could see, because it was facing the alley, and I could see the next neighborhoods over, see who doing what or whatever. So I put all my stuff in there. Mom's boyfriend at the time, he gonna take all my shit out and put his shit in there. And he gonna put all my stuff in on the side bedroom.
I know you were mad.
And that was cramped, huh?
I know you were mad, motherfucker.
Yeah, I was mad as hell. I was 11 years old, and I told my pops about it. He's like, man, what you? He's wait a minute. Why you gonna move my son's stuff out of there to put all your shit in here? That's what you got a basement for. He don't need all this room. Don't tell me what the fuck my son is. Like, man, you don't tell me what my son don't need. Because it was perfect. Because Monster's room, they had like them two walk-in closets and shit. You open that door. I'm gonna tell you how big the closet was. You kind of like had to hunch down a little bit. Not all the way, but kind of like a little bit, It had two walk-in closets on the side. The bedroom that I wanted that was further in the back, it was spacey as fuck. It had two walk-in closets, but mine was just like it was like a room.
Mm-hmm.
So like basically kind of like the walk-in closet in your apartment. Okay, about big as that.
Mm-hmm.
It had two of them in there. I was mad. I was mad as hell that I had got the one, that side bedroom that was a little bit cramped. And man, I had to put all my clothes in the hallway. And we had like two hallway closets. Two closets in the hallway. One for like with the vacuum and all this other stuff they need, weapons and stuff like that. I kind of knew Pop's head is looking there too. The other hallway closet was mine for me to use. Yeah, so yeah, Jimmy, 11 years old, man. When we first moved in that house on 308 West 106, back in February of '90. Man, I was mad as hell. About Peyton gonna kick me out of a bedroom. I wasn't gonna tell my dad what I don't need. But anyway, with The Last Dance, there was a lot of good positives about it. Jerry Reinsdorf admitted a lot of things. About with the contract thing. I kind of felt that it was more like, look, once you sign this contract, don't come to me about renegotiating. What's done is done. That's kind of like the wrong approach, because I feel if like, Jimmy, if I'm the general manager and you feel like I'm screwing you over, you got a right to come to renegotiate your contract.
Yeah.
And that's really Reinsdorf's approach. That's really the wrong way to go on that. Excuse me, it really is. You don't do business like that at all. I'm not gonna be happy that you're gonna have me sign a 10-year contract for $18 million.
But also,
I got, I'm just saying, just for example, but I got every right to come up to you and say, hey man, this ain't right.
Yeah, and that's the reason why the Players Association, had that lockout in '99, because you did have slave like contracts. That's one of the reasons why the lockout of 1999 came into place, because for the most part, unless you got a fucked up agent, that's stealing out of your bank account and stuff like that, because you do have some dumbass players that have agents that share bank accounts with their agents, which I don't know what the hell they thinking about. If it's a family member, I can kind of see it. I can kind of see it, but when it's a non-family member, which most people don't have family members that are agents. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
The problem that Reinsdorf made was giving Jerry Krause absolute control over the business. Now, there was a couple of things that he shut down before he got too carried away, because he was looking to trade Michael Jordan, and Reinsdorf had to step in.
Yeah, maybe that. Like,
foot down. He was going to trade Scottie Pippen. Reinsdorf stepped in and put his foot down. There was a couple of instances where he had to put his foot down. It's like, hell no, you ain't finna do that shit. I give you control, but you ain't finna. I'm finna take this control in this particular situation. And that's not a good thing in a lot of cases, to always give your GM absolute control. like in the parts where it was understandable, like when I think his name Ron Wolf from the Green Bay Packers, he had that type of control when he was the GM. But Ron Wolf made smart, intelligent decisions. That wasn't a bad thing. He built Green Bay from 1992 until
Ted Thompson took over. Now Green Bay got a new one. Ted stepped down. This dude named Brian something. I forgot his name.
Yeah, so in that situation, they made the right move when it came to that. Jerry West, when he was the general manager of the Lakers, that was a smart move because Jerry West knew what the fuck he was doing. The only time Jerry Buss had stepped in, because really Jerry Buss was another low-key guy. The only time you saw Jerry Buss big ass, peace to the brother, was when they won that championship. Other than that, you saw Jerry West's face on the Lakers. Everybody thought Jerry was the owner of the LA Lakers. A lot of people thought Jerry West ran the LA Lakers because Jerry West made all the decisions. But the only time I think Jerry Buss stepped on Jerry West's toes was when that time Magic Johnson demanded a trade. And Jerry West was about to go through with it. But what ended up happening was Jerry Buss told Jerry West, is like, hey, I'm going to fire you if you make that move. And what ended up happening was that's when Paul Westhead ended up getting fired. Because Paul Westhead was the guy that created that Showtime system, which is the running gun system that he had created. And that's what
wasn't him or Pat Riley that decided, that was Paul. Yeah, he decided to change it up a little bit, and then that's when the Lakers weren't winning shit.
Yeah, that's when the Lakers started losing. And then what happened was Magic Johnson got pissed off with Paul Westhead, and he demanded a trade. Jerry West was about to go through with it, but Jerry Buss told him, that's your job if you do that. So you're going to have to fire Paul. It's either Westhead or your job. And Jerry West stepped in there. Okay, we got to let you go. We're going to put Pat Riley, because Pat Riley was the assistant coach in 1980 when they won that first championship. He was also won the first championship that they ever won in the LA area, because they won 5 with the Minneapolis Lakers. Under George.
And one thing about Pat Riley though, man, if you ever saw it, that might look like fucking that might looking all cool and shit. Before the slick back hair. He was about to let his hair grow long. I think he admitted on a special. He said, I was about to wear my hair like a hippie. He said I was gonna grow it back. But he made one thing I liked about Pat Riley though was this. He stuck with that run and gun system, and he made some modifications to it that made it even better. So, but that'd be another topic another time. The only negative that I had to say, there were a lot of, like I said, we can't get on with the positives and everything because it's a whole lot. The only negative that I have to say about it is fucking ESPN. And the damn ESPN app, man. I mean, I spent the last 5 minutes. The shit was buffering, and I'm trying to figure out, I know it ain't the internet connection, so cut my Wi-Fi off to see if it'll work through the phone signal. That shit was still buffering. One dude even said, man, he had gig speed Xfinity, and he said his shit was still buffering. So what we all had to do, what they all had to do, they probably had to wait till the following date. And when I got to watching parts 1 and 2 again over, and really, I'm gonna tell you this here. When you watch the replays of it, ESPN think they slick. They call themselves trying to motherfuck somebody. No, don't motherfuck the public.
No.
They played the censored version. They played the censored replay version of that be on ESPN too. Now, when it's be on live, you get to hear them drop F-bombs. They would drop F-bomb. They would drop the B, the S, They would be saying shit, motherfucker, bitch, and everything else on the live verse. See that? They think they slick. They think they slick.
I loved every minute of the uncut version of Michael Jordan getting on them folks' ass, and man, Michael was a whole asshole with his teammates. He was a whole asshole. Yep. But the great thing about that is he never publicly humiliated people like that.
Never. He admitted that. He said a lot of people may say I humiliated people in public. Never. He said I give him props. I respect him.
Yeah, because it was a practice. It's practice. Practice is going to be intense. Practice is going to be a whole nother. It's a whole nother thing. You know what I'm saying? You know, yeah, cameras was there in practice, but you didn't know about it until now. You didn't know about it until like 20 years from now. But in practice is going to be intense. You're going to have fights with teammates and all that shit. Hell, the bad boys of Detroit, they were fighting each other during the time they won those champs. They had fights all the goddamn time in practice and shit.
Even Bill Laimbeer's salty ass confirmed that.
Yeah, his old salty ass talking that bullshit, talking about, well, I think LeBron did. Man, fuck. I'm not even gonna say fuck LeBron, but fuck your little salty ass, your fouling ass, your non-defensive playing ass. Only thing you was good for is fouling, nigga.
Fouling. But I'm gonna tell you something about Bill Laimbeer though. Don't leave his ass wide open. Because he will admit that he said you leave me wide open. That was your ass.
Yeah, he set the finals record. He tied the finals record with 6 3-pointers against the Portland Trailblazers. He had a good jumper. I'm not disputing.
He really didn't jump with it. He just stood and shot that mother like bam, damn.
Yeah, he had a jumper. But my issue with Laimbeer is he's still salty with Michael Jordan because he beat that ass. No, nigga.
Damn right. They swept.
What happened was the NBA sided with Michael Jordan. I say this all the time. They sided with Michael Jordan because the Detroit Pistons was trying to kill those dudes. And even Daly admitted on a show, he was like, you can't use the Jordan rules no more because hell, half your fucking team gonna be out the goddamn game from flagrant fouls. They instituted flagrant fouls mainly because to protect Michael Jordan and other players. Because Michael Jordan went to David Stern, he was like, man, you're gonna have to do something about this. He told David Stern straight up in a meeting, and David Stern rightfully did what was right. That you can't have guys. It's nothing wrong with being physical. I think the physicality of the NBA in the 90s is just far as it goes. Now, sometimes referees do go overboard with the flagrant fouls. Now, if you do Draymond Green kicking niggas in the nuts like he Bruce Lee up in it, Bruce Leroy, I ain't even finna insult Bruce Lee like that. Bruce Leroy kicking niggas in the nuts like Bruce Leroy. Of course, you need to get kicked out of the fucking game. But I think if they institute the flagrant fouls that were instituted in the 90s, that's just enough. I don't want people to get killed. I think they should institute head checking as well. I think they should bring head checking back. You know, it does need to be some type of physicality to let a nigga know, hey, you finna put some respect on my name in terms of that. Other than that, I don't think they should change any other rules other than that. True. Because I think hand checking was the best thing that they had in terms of, because with these, the way they call the game now is everything you do, if you scratch your ass is a foul. If you scratch your head, is a fucking foul. That's the issue.
Hit your nose, it's a foul.
You know what I'm saying? And here's another thing that people does not understand. People talk about, you know, how Michael Jordan had a lack of competition just to try to fit the narrative of LeBron James. If y'all don't get the hell out of here with that bullshit, he had arguably some of the greatest centers of all time. He went in with playing against guys like fucking Kareem, playing guys like coming in there playing against guys like Artis Gilmore, Daryl Dawkins, Moses Malone, Tree Rollins. He probably dunked on 20 of the top 100 shot blockers of all time. Probably dunked on practically all of them, damn near. You know what I'm saying? Because he wasn't there when Wilt Chamberlain was playing. Wilt Chamberlain was long gone before he left. But the thing is, people talk about how weak the NBA was not weak. The NBA was more physical.
Hell no. No, and man, hold that thought. And to all y'all, to the dyslexia delusional generation, listen up. If you better, I'm gonna give you, here's a plug. Watch the entire 1992 Eastern Conference semifinals between the Knicks and the Bulls.
Woo! Woo!
You want to, if you think, imagine LeBron in that league with them houses like Xavier McDaniel, Charles Oakley. I ain't gonna never forget that game. Xavier McDaniel tried to step up, tried to bow up to Michael Jordan, and Charles Barkley stepped in. He said, "No, man, And man, Jordan got him in his face. He said, "Now what, motherfucker? Now what? Now what, motherfucker? Now what?" It made it even Patrick Ewing and Charles Oakley had to get Xavier off of that, and had to get Xavier McDaniel off that man. And Charles Oakley said, "You don't want none of it when I'm around." No, you ain't getting none.
Yeah, and really,
and Charles Oakley had to put John Starks in his fucking place. That's another dude that's still salty.
Mm-hmm.
John Starks. Because I ain't gonna forget the year, what was that, in 90s? Okay, Bulls won 72 games in 95-96, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when they played the Knicks in that last game, that man said he bragged about that shit. He said he was gonna make it his personal vow that the Bulls wasn't gonna win 70 fucking games. That man, Starks, I watched that game. Starks is getting away with a whole lot of shit, dog. Fouling motherfuckers, and I'm like, look at this shit here.
But Starks had no defense. That's the thing about John Starks. Starks would foul the shit out of you, but he had no defense. He had a hell of a jumper. 3-point shot was on point, but he had no defense. You know what I'm saying? He had no defense. And Marcus Johnson brought a great point. Defenders can't be physical along with allowing hardening guards to other guards to step back 1-2 steps. And how can you contest that? I totally agree with it, bro.
Okay. I agree with him too.
If Michael Jordan was playing in today's NBA, Michael Jordan would have an average of 50 points a game. First of all, those referees was not going to let you foul Michael Jordan. After they instituted flagrant fouls, because the NBA had multiple reasons to institute flagrant fouls in the 90s. Number one, they had to protect their biggest assets, which was Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan stood out every game from 1988 up until that point. So they had to protect
you had to protect the golden goose.
And if he got hurt, that would have hurt the NBA's attendance rate. Because the NBA's attendance, when Michael Jordan left, the first and the second time, the attendance went down 100,000 people. Yeah, people still watched it on television, but attendance, it went down by 100,000 people. It took Shaq and Kobe to win a championship for the attendance to rise up. And it didn't, but when Michael Jordan came back again, attendance went up 100,000 people again. So that helped them out tremendously. So if Michael Jordan was playing in today's NBA, number one,
no-brainer. He'd be averaging 50 a game.
50, 55, he would be setting records because number one, you can't touch Michael Jordan. If you look at that Utah series, when Michael went to the hole and they fouled him, he got caught. Them referees did not want to be the referee that said they didn't make the call against Michael Jordan. Granted, Reggie Miller.
And here's another, and tell you another little thing too. They'll probably, I think they're gonna talk about it on the last parts. Because matter of fact, spoiler alert. They're gonna talk about the Rodman era at the time he joined the Bulls. I'm waiting on them to talk about the Knicks. Because Xavier, I ain't heard nothing from Xavier McDaniel since that season. I want to find if ESPN touched base with him, because I already know now. If they didn't talk to Jordan, now if they didn't talk to Charles Oakley, I was surprised because Charles got interviewed a lot more. You know, I think he still deep down in his heart he will always be a Chicago Bull. I mean, let's face it, he is to me. You know. But well, to every Bulls fan out there, if they get whatever part they get to about with the Bulls and the Knicks, they got to interview Xavier McDaniel, because I already know they probably go in there and interviewed John Starks. You know, they interviewed Patrick Ewing.
Oh, they got to interview.
You know they do.
You know they did, but I already know it. But if they got in contact with Xavier McDaniel, found out wherever he is, wherever the hell he is, and shit, hear his take on that shit. But overall, man, about with this parts 1 and part 2, The Last Dance, it was good. But the only problem is this: if you got the fucking ESPN app, if you catch it live, it'll fucking crash on you. And Jimmy always calls the ESPN app ESPN crap app.
The ESPN crap app, exactly. And speaking of Xavier McDaniel, had Xavier McDaniel, when he went to the New York Knicks, he came in at the prime of his career, because people forget Xavier McDaniel was drafted by the Seattle Supersonics, which explains why Seattle made that trade of Scottie Pippen, because Xavier came in from Seattle averaging 20 plus during his Seattle.
He was a small forward.
Yeah, he was killing it. I mean, so it kind of
don't know if he had a jump. Well, I'm put like this. I don't know if he had a jump shot, but when he was with the Knicks, I never saw him shoot the ball.
Well, because they primarily want him to be on defense, and they wanted him to play defense. Knicks were more like, okay, you gotta play more defense than to be, taking multiple shots.
No, but you got to balance yourself out, because it's like I said about with football, because I tell the coach, man, look, I know how to play some D. I said, but I got to balance myself out. I just can't be just pegged as to being what you want me to be.
Now, what's crazy about Xavier McDaniel during that 92, because he only played for the Knicks one season.
And then he wasn't heard from since.
Yeah, he went to Boston. He went to New Jersey. And, I don't know what happened in the NBA with him, but that was unfortunate. But the kid had game. Offensively, he could play game. And you saw flashes of that during that 92 run that the Knicks had. He averaged 18 points in the playoffs. He averaged 13 in the regular season. And he averaged 18 in the playoffs. And he was an all-star in 1988 for the Western Conference. And his situation was very unfortunate, because I think Xavier sacrificed his best years in Seattle / that probably 20
that
games.
Cup of coffee in New York.
Yeah, 20 games with the Phoenix Suns in 1991, 1990-91 season and stuff like that. He sacrificed his prime. He was killing over there at Seattle. That's why when they brought in Sean Kemp, and not too long after that, they brought in Gary Payton.
Hey, now here's another hypothetical thing. Now, if Seattle had kept Xavier McDaniel, I think they would have had him a championship. Now, I'll be honest. I ain't disrespecting the 95-96 Seattle Supersonics. They were good as advertised.
Mm-hmm.
I liked them. Peyton, Kemp, Detlef Shrimp. Detlef was no joke either, man.
Yeah,
because I follow him on Instagram, and he showed with the Pacers, compared himself with the Pacers and then with the Sonics. And I replied to him. I said, I really felt your good. I said the best years you had were with Seattle. I said, because a lot of guys thought that you weren't no joke. You weren't. Yeah, he liked my reply. And he said thank you for that. He said that's the ultimate compliment. And I said, P.S. You did give my Chicago Bulls a run for their money.
Oh yeah, because he was killing. He had an offensive game, and so did Charles.
Dennis Rodman. He said, and I asked him, besides Jordan and Pippen, I asked him who was the one player that you respected off that 95-96 team. He said Rodman. He said when Rodman went over, he said you could put 4 people on Dennis Rodman, he's still gonna get that rebound.
Mm-hmm. Probably.
And let's not forget to mention Dennis Rodman out rebounded the Knicks one time by himself.
Mm-hmm.
32. Well, he finished with 32 rebounds. He had 26 rebounds in a half by himself.
Mm-hmm.
He shit, and then he finished the game with 32 rebounds. That's unheard of.
Yeah, you would have to go all the way back to Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain because those are the all-time leaders in rebounds. You would have to go all the way back to that to find the last few people to out-rebound an entire team. Because, you know, Wilt had 55 rebounds in the 1950s and Bill Russell had 51 rebounds, you know, in the 1960s. So he was doing shit like that. You had great rebounders like Moses Malone, which they called the chairman of the boards. And, you know, you had people like Elgin Baylor rebounding their asses off, but you didn't have people out rebounding whole teams like that, except Wilt Chamberlain and Bill Russell. But with Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain, we're talking about guys who are 7 feet tall with 52-inch verticals and shit like that. You know, people don't realize how great. Go ahead.
No, I was talking Mons. Go ahead.
Yeah, people don't realize how much hops these guys had. Not only they were tall, these guys had jumping, you know, a crazy jumping ability. In Wilt Chamberlain's case, this nigga's 280, between 280 and 310, you know, the same size as Shaq, but more leaner, that could jump out the fucking gym, that could jump 7 feet in the high jump. And we're talking about jumping 7 feet in the high jump. Both Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain were 7-foot high jumpers when they were only less than 10 7-foot high jumpers at the time. You have to be able to jump in order to jump over 7 feet, a 7-foot pole. You have to be, and this is without the Fosbury flop.
Right.
Without the Fosbury flop. I don't give a damn how tall you are. If you cannot jump over that motherfucker, if you can jump over that motherfucker with the Fosbury, without the Fosbury flop, which was instituted in 1968, where you jump backwards. They used the Western roll, which you jump forward, but to the side forward. That's hard to do. Even in today's high jump, that's hard to do. You know what I'm saying? So when they went into the NBA, which at the time, I don't think they even counted vertical jumps until like the 70s. These guys had fucking jumping ability that nobody could even match. I think even with Wilt Chamberlain, because I don't know about Bill Russell's case. You would be a hell of a defender.
No, me either.
You would still get 15 rebounds. I don't know about 21 that he averaged. But I know Chamberlain for sure would give anybody in any era, he would give everybody a run for his money because he had the size, he had that turnaround fadeaway jumper. I mean, he had so many post moves, it was crazy. He was just a fucked up free throw shooter, but his rebounding wasn't nobody fucking with that. So that says a lot about, I say this to say that says a lot about Dennis Rodman. For him to out rebound a whole team, which only men like that could do. The legend
that was fucking unheard of though. At that time, we talking about the 91-92 season. That was just freaking unheard of.
That was freaking unheard of.
And what a lot of people don't know, in closing note, a lot of people don't know Dennis Rodman had a pretty ass had a pretty jump shot, and it failed. It was just so like bam, like I got one because he was shooting threes when he was in Detroit. He had a killer mid-range jumper too. That's what a lot of people don't know about Dennis. He got a killer mid-range jumper. He got a killer 3-point shot. On a funny note, YouTube, I'm plugging on YouTube, Dennis Rodman shooting the 3. So he found out, I think something about it, they said something about if at the United Center, the fans is gonna get free tacos if Dennis Rodman shot a 3. If Dennis Rodman hit 3 straight 3-pointers. So he did the fans a solid. He said, hell, he said, I'll give him free, plus I'll buy him something, I'll buy him some more. That man went out there and hit 6 straight 3-pointers. 6 straight 3s. He had like 2 from the corner, 1 at the top of the key, and several up from the wing. He was popping the motherfuckers. And then he telling everybody said, give them they talking about some y'all give them their shit, give them their food, you know. But overall, parts 1 and 2 of Last Dance, like I said, it was very good. But part 3 and 4 is gonna be, well, we know part 3 is gonna be about Dennis Rodman. Part 4, but they'll probably pull a Cool's Cool. But the only bad about it is, you know, ESPN, well, they'll try the motherfuckers. Because man, it took me like, you know, 10 minutes to get hooked up, 10 minutes to get, you know, with me having the app downloaded, you know, for this shit to come on, and it was buffering like every 5 minutes, like you got a pre-planned data, megabyte data on your phone plan, you know. But Jimmy, yeah, man, this is a damn good show. We 2:45 in. Okay. Jimmy Mack, our old employer, on the Facebook group, there's been talk about them possibly protesting. The workers out there, the workers out there are possibly talking about protesting. And I'm going to invite you on, and I'm going to send you an invite to that group so you can see what all the shit that's being said out there.
Rightfully
the bottom line, huh?
Rightfully so.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you an invite to that on both your accounts. Either which Facebook account you active on, the J Smooth or the McWright?
The McWright is more active.
Okay, I got you. Well, and I'm a moderator of that group. Okay, a lot of folks, they've been on that group, man. They voiced their displeasure with FedEx about how they handle this COVID-19 situation. You know, like, you know, they trying to copy, like all of a sudden they trying to copy off what my job is doing by paying the extra $2 just for getting the shit, just for showing up to work. Okay, on top, you know, along with our wage. Okay. Yeah, but see, FedEx, they doing it in a different way. That was like, yeah, and I had to put them on blast, and I said, yeah, y'all just basically copying what Amazon doing. So quit it. You know, y'all should have been and did something for them. And the way they show FedEx show their appreciation to their employees was giving them masks and fucking hand sanitizer and gloves. So yeah, I have every fucking right to protest. And then reading on that subject, man, one in particular, shout out to Toya Bowser on it, because she said it best. FedEx is a toxic environment before COVID-19. You damn right. She ain't never lied. Man, I've said it before. You know, again, I hate to sound like a busted drum or a broken record. And my boy Trey Murphy said it best, man. FedEx will bring FedEx is toxic. FedEx is like a relationship. It's like a relationship. It's toxic because you're around toxic ass people, you know. And then, you know, and the biggest bullshit they will say is, well, we family here, FedEx. You ain't my motherfucker. I told one person, man, y'all ain't my motherfucking family. My family up in Chicago.
Boy, you ain't shit for that, boy. Oh boy, you ain't shit. You told them all.
I got family in Chicago. Y'all ass ain't my family. Y'all just co-workers.
Boy.
But it's just the truth, though. But granted, I have met some good people out there.
Me too.
There are some good people out there. You're one of them. Adrian's one of them. Murphy's one of them. Shoot, I'm gonna be honest. There are some women out there, and I'm gonna come on here and say it, and not saying names. There were some women that I work with, I had good sex with.
I heard that.
One of them wanted to have sex with me. I was flattered. Because she said her sex drive was high. I was like, what? When she saw me, I'm like, well, what's up then? Don't be scared now. Hey, you fired your shot. So I'm not gonna reveal who she is, but she bowled out at the last minute. I said, oh, okay. So, but that didn't stop me from trying. That didn't stop me from trying to get it. So, still ain't got it yet. But anyway, yeah, here's the thing about with the protests. Because there was somebody on the group that asked about if y'all protest, one's talking about protesting, or y'all gonna show. And this is see, this is the reason why motherfuckers don't know how to follow directions. The young lady that asked this question said, hey, just a simple yes or no. The ones that's talking about protesting, are y'all gonna protest? Tell me why some motherfucker got on there and replied back with a long ass answer. And then that's what somebody said, damn. I said, man, look, y'all need to learn how to follow directions. She said a simple yes or no. I said, now if she had said to explain, he said, hey, what's y'all reason is, y'all to turn around and say yes or no. But man, but the gist of it, man, a lot of people, some people out there felt like they're being wronged, because FedEx they ain't they ain't treating their employees right. Matter of fact, they never have. Oh, and by the way, they lost Aramark, right?
Wow.
So they're under somebody. I don't know. I don't know who they under now, but from what I've heard, they said whoever they dealing with now, their food is a little bit better than Aramark's.
Man, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that is
yeah. So whoever they dealing with now, they must be on their shit, because one person said that they got some breakfast from the buff, right?
Mm-hmm.
They said the bacon wasn't that steamed bacon and shit like that. It was bacon how you fry it at home. So whoever they dealing with now, I just hope they can keep it going.
Mm-hmm.
Cause I'm be honest with you, man. Them folks that worked in the buff on the Aramark, they were garbage.
The only good thing that they had in the buff was the KFC chicken. That was the only.
That was it.
Everything else, that was hit or miss. Pizza.
Damn, pizza was fucking greasy.
Hit or miss.
Man, you really had to drink. Hell, I had a pizza that was so greasy and cheesy one time, dude. I never drank 2 Coca-Colas in one night. I drank a bottle of Coke and a half. It was that fucking greasy.
Wow.
But it was cheesy as fuck. But I mean, damn, it was greasy as hell. I'm like, how the. And then really it's just some of the workers that they hire, man. Like I said, it's just some of the people they hire that work in that kitchen. They hire anybody, but back to the protest thing. Yeah, a lot of people feel like they're gonna protest. This how I feel about it. If you're gonna protest something like that, nowhere in your job, when you have somewhere in your employment say that you don't have the right to, you're not allowed to display your constitutional rights.
Exactly.
Freedom of expression, freedom of speech. That's your protest. Your voice has to be heard. Freedom of choice, meaning if you want to choose to protest or not. Now, to the young lady, I'm not going to say to the young lady who I'm going to say this, and Jimmy I enlightened Jimmy on the whole situation, but I'm going to add him on to this group in a minute. Since I'm doing the podcast on the phone, it'll probably cut me off while I'm talking while I'm on the phone. Let me put y'all people on the FedEx group on notice here. The ones that talking about I'm a protest. Don't say you're gonna do it and then turn around and backpedal.
I agree.
And turn around, backpedal, and don't do it. You want to know what you is? You're a house nigga. And I told this person that there are a lot of people in this group that ain't nothing but a bunch of house niggas. FedEx, I don't look at FedEx as a fucking career. Never have, never will. I mean, Amazon, yeah, true. You could advance to a lot of stuff like that. Like you can advance to like one dude, he wants to work in the media department. Okay. Yeah, you got to work your ass off to get up to that. You know, I don't want, like I was told one point in time, I said, well, you can have a good career at FedEx. Like, no, I don't want, well, like with your artwork. Like, look, to be honest with you, I don't want FedEx owning shit that I create. I don't want that. I don't want none of my artistical talent being owned by a company. I don't. I'd rather own my own artistical talent. Shout out to Davier Holmes because he's my art protege. He's now a published illustrator. So and I gave him the best piece of advice was don't try to become the next somebody, become the first. You know, don't become the next Craig Smith, become the first Davier. And then whoever's going to be under your wing learning art, you pass that knowledge along. So hey, he's now a published illustrator. He's gonna work to be in a published manga artist. That's his next goal. Proud of him about that. 23 years old. Hey, kid got his head on his shoulders. Right direction. But again, with the protester thing, I got no problems with that. Because if I was there, yeah, I'd be protesting like motherfuckers. Some people be talking about some, well, you know they'll fire motherfuckers left, right. And I don't give a fuck. They're gonna fire me for utilizing my constitutional rights. They can't. I didn't sign no contract with FedEx. I don't have no hidden language in that. It ain't no hidden language in the application saying you can't be out here expressing what you say and what you need to say, or you can't get on Facebook. Like I was like one of the security guards was standing with about something I got in trouble about. I posted up on social media. He gonna tell me you ain't got no. I said, man, hold on. You ain't got no business telling what I need to post on my social media. I suppose you go. I said, so what? You gonna have one of the tech? You gonna have one of y'all tech boys hacking my IP address on my computer to see my DeviantArt page and everything else and what else I post on there on Facebook? So he said it's sarcasm. So sarcastically he said, yeah, we just might do that. I said, well, and I returned the favor. I said, well, yeah, go ahead, because I'll know when my shit being hacked, when my laptop is being hacked. They got ways to bypass that. I said, yeah, I got ways to bypass it too. I said, when it do happen, I got a size 12 that can bypass somewhere too.
Yep.
Sure enough, it happened. And sure enough, the former happened. Well, the latter happened. Almost. But again, people, if you feel, the moral of the story is this, because y'all probably say, well, Craig, you and lost us about with this protest thing. I didn't lose you. You need to follow. If you're going to protest, you got every right to. I don't care. You could be there 30 fucking goddamn years. You got a right to protest. You got a right to speak up. Nowhere there is no hidden language in your application when you put your John Hancock saying that you cannot say what you need to say how you feel. I've gone on record and said, and Jimmy has as well, it's a good job, but a lot of folks that work out there at FedEx, they had that plantation mentality, or as my mom liked to call it, Peyton Place mentality.
Yeah.
And she's right. She doesn't even fucking work out there.
Yeah.
And on side note, my mom said she admitted that with the exception of a few people that my pops introduced her to, she really didn't want to be introduced to that environment. Now, when a woman like my mom, who is visually impaired and blind, tells my late father, her husband, that shit, he was supposed to listen, but he didn't. But moving right along. If you're gonna protest about something, man, all I got, my best advice is do it and be careful.
Exactly.
And be very freaking careful. Hell, I know, man, I remember a time at a job I took up for myself, and guess what? I was labeled as having a bad attitude. How you gonna have a fucked up attitude because you're gonna speak up for yourself?
Yep.
I'm not a dog, you know. I'm not no dog where you like where you snatch me by my chain and throw me on the ground and expect for me to behave. No, ain't no dogs around here. Uh, I'm not that kind of dog. I'm a dog that's gonna attack when I feel threatened. But you got a lot of old yellers that work at that place that really need. You know, I'm not saying that, you know. Well, Jimmy, you know what the story what happened to old Yeller, right?
Of course.
Okay, they really need to be put out the pasture. Meaning they need to just go somewhere, sit their ass the fuck on down and embark on something else. Enjoy your life.
Exactly.
But people, if y'all gonna protest out there, I'm all for it. Because hey, I'm risking my life, and my health going out here every day, leaving around about 6 or 7 o'clock every night, Monday through Friday, to work. Yeah, I'm an essential employee. You know, my job is implementing safer guidelines.
Uh-huh.
You know, my job Amazon has implemented, and never in a day has the owner Bezos himself, Mr. Bezos himself, sending appreciation letters notifications every week to all his employees for doing a good job. Never have, you know. I don't know if whoever's has FedEx done that. I don't know. But Jimmy, I sent you a pic. You and Corey Wolf a pic of what they FedEx is implementing. If you don't wear a face mask, you're gonna get a fucking warning letter. Now, how the fuck you gonna go on the best for yourself by that shit? Yeah, all them employees got every right to be to protest. You can't make them motherfuckers wear no damn face mask.
And let's be real here. This is why Amazon, when this new facility gets built, will be the largest employer in the city of Memphis. This is why. I'm glad you
got
brought
one is getting finished right now as we speak in Olive Branch. Now they said the biggest one is about to be the one out there in Raleigh.
Yeah, but the one in Raleigh, which will make them officially the largest employer. FedEx have went from being the largest employer to is going to be soon be the second largest employer in the city of Memphis, the Memphis metropolitan area. How the fuck you view that motherfucker? Because Amazon is about to give 75,000 jobs, and they're going to be having people work full time as opposed to part time. That FedEx be trying to get 10 hours worth of work in 4 to 5 hours, some cases 6 hours.
And let me hold you on that note, hold that thought.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that I've always resented about Fed was this: if you didn't kiss the right ass, I'm gonna be untechnical about it. If you didn't kiss the right ass or stuck your dick in the right pussy, you didn't get full time.
Exactly.
Okay, NFL draft update. Giants selected Tay Crowder from Georgia. But anyway, linebacker. Anyway, Jimmy, I was out there for 14 years. Making $15.96. And every time I put in for full time, I couldn't get full time. But let some slut, you know, let some little, you know, I'm not gonna say no names because I work with on day side on one of the Florida flights. All of a sudden within 6 months time, she gets full time. This chick gets full time.
Mm-hmm.
And making more fucking money than me. I'm like, damn, she must have fucked the right person. You know, when I started in 2001, you know, not gonna say my old manager's name, who I started with, but you know, he didn't like me from the beginning. And then when I came back, in 2000, when did I come back from North Carolina? When I stationed in North Carolina, 2003. When I came back 2003, he was my manager again, and the man wanted to move me to another area because I fucked up his budget and this is a direct quote. I messed up his budget by coming back to the area. He wanted to move me to another area. No lie. I was like, oh, okay. So, because he figured with me being in the military, shit, that I shouldn't be needing more hours with the money I was making with the service. Okay, that's your opinion, but whatever. But and it took me a long while about with Libras, man, and mainly about me. What's going on personal, well, I can't say, well, it is said about Libras, and I know about me. We hold a grudge for the longest time. And it took me a while. It took me a good minute to let it slide with my first manager out there. Some shit he tried to pull when I got back. And granted, there were some things, there were certain people he catered to that I didn't like. He looked out for certain ones, because he had his he had his token niggas.
Yeah.
Let's be honest here. Let's be honest. White people that are managers, they have token niggas too that they can go to. Not sounding racist, it's the truth out there at their job, mainly out there FedEx.
What it is, yeah. Just keep it real.
And it's just the truth. Hell, I've had some good managers. I've had some bad ones.
Absolute bad managers.
Yeah, I know you say about you had some absolute bad managers. I had one, I'm gonna say his name, Kevin Smith. Great guy. But I didn't like the fact that he was pretty dismissive about shit when I would talk to him about something. Like he would like I was just persona non grata, and then he would go back and talk to my pops about things about me. You don't do no shit like that. If you have it, and then some of his rampages he had, and I didn't mention something like this earlier. Shout out to David Snipes, because when he and we settled our beef, he admitted to me, he told my pops one time, he said, Smitty, I think I made a mistake with CJ. He's talking about, what you mean? He said, I messed it. He said, he told him. And Pops tell me the story. David told me the story later on. I didn't know it, but he said, when I brought about how disrespectful he was with me, at that point we were working together. He said, I think I fucked up by disrespecting CJ earlier, because he ain't take his eyes off. He hasn't taken his eyes off me yet. Mm-hmm. He said, I think I fucked up.
Yep.
And Pops told me, he said, he said, well, he said, he said he getting ready to size you. He said he doing two things. He said he getting ready, either he trying to size you up or something, or he waiting for you to go and apologize to him. He said, because I didn't do. He said, because he did the former when I didn't do the latter. When I disrespected. That's what Pops told David. Because David knew. He said, yeah, I will fuck somebody up for disrespecting me. You want to disrespect me in front of everybody. You don't embarrass me in front of everybody to make yourself look good. And that's one thing I don't do. I don't tolerate. Like Jimmy, I'm pretty sure it's like this. If you tell your boss, hey, if you got an issue with me, don't dress me down. Dress me down between both of us. Don't do it in front of everybody.
I agree.
And that's my deal. If you want to dress me down, do it one-on-one. Don't do it in front of everybody.
Totally agree with that.
Because you ain't doing nothing but embarrassing somebody when you do something like that. But if you feel the need, hey, if y'all gotta feel the need, you FedEx employees, y'all gotta feel the need to protest or whatever, do it. I mean, just so be it. Just do it. Just be careful about what you do. You got a right to speak out. You ain't gonna have no bad attitude about the shit. I mean, fuck. You not. If you feel y'all get wrong, don't say, yeah, I'm a protest, and then backpedal. Stop being, for once in y'all lives, the ones that's out there, Stop being a fucking house nigga and speak up.
Yep.
Man, because we got too many damn house niggas that's out there. Even the mother, we got too many niggas and motherfuckers out there. Well, I look like this here. I needs me a job. You can find you another motherfucker. Shit.
Shit, if you need jobs that bad, nigga, get on you a Greyhound and come to Houston or Dallas or one of these major cities out here.
San Antonio or something. Shit.
Yeah, it's plenty of, tell them you from Memphis, you work for FedEx, man. They'll shit. You'll get all types of jobs out here, paying way better than FedEx.
Mm-hmm. If they feel the need, that folks that feel the need to protest about this situation with the COVID-19 thing. So be it. I'm all for it. So,
Agreed.
You got anything you want to add on that one?
Yeah. Main thing is like, I say for anybody that been mistreated, I say you need to stand up at this point, man, because what you gonna lose at this point? Because Amazon building another warehouse in 2 parts of Memphis, so shit. You lose your job at FedEx, hey, shit, you got an opportunity to go to Amazon. You worked at FedEx, okay, hey, we gonna hire you. Shit, you know about shipping and receiving, okay. That you got a better job, shit. No money makes no slow. I mean, home money makes
Slow
no
feet
money.
don't
So,
eat.
hey, shit. Yeah, shit. Get your ass up and protest. I mean,
And then also another thing. I've been at Amazon for 6 months. I'm already fucking full time.
Yeah.
Look how fast it took me to get full time. And then out there, them motherfuckers, man, shit. Like I said, if your dick wasn't in the right place, or whatnot, or what ass you was kissing. Yeah, I'm being technical about it. I'm being real. You didn't make full time, and then when you did make full time, you didn't get the full time fucking hours.
Yep.
So what's the point?
Exactly.
Shit. So fuck yeah, protest.
Yeah, do your thing, man. And like I said, this explains why people. This explains exactly why Amazon has gonna be taking over Memphis pretty soon. And
yep,
I love every minute of it. 75,000 jobs you need. I think that should cover. That should cover the city, man, for the most part. I mean,
and shit. And if you sit up here and say that you can't find in Memphis, you can't find a fucking job, you need your ass whooped.
Entire ass whooped at this point. And when exactly will that facility in Raleigh be completed?
They said it's supposed to be done by July. I know the one out here in Olive Branch is supposed to be done in June. It's supposed to open up in June. Okay. And also the people here living in South Haven. There's no excuse for you to say y'all can't find a job either. So if I were y'all better put in your applications right now. And I'm going to plug the site, amazon.force.com. Create if you got Google Chrome, create a profile, create a password, save your password under Google so it can be auto-filled and autocorrect. Because let me tell you Southern people something. Y'all when it comes to computers and everything, y'all are the dumbest motherfuckers there ever is, and y'all are lazy. Y'all are stupid. Y'all don't want to coincide with nothing. I always say, I ain't got time for that. I ain't got time for that. Make fucking time. Google Chrome, if you got a Google Chrome browser or Internet Explorer browser, matter of fact, if you got Firefox, save your password. If either one of the browsers say, would you like us to save your password for you and have everything autofilled to this site, please select yes, because there should be no excuse for you not to learn how to do a computer. Now, if you know how to go on a computer to do World Star Hip Hop or TikTok, Hickory Dickory Dock, or whatever the fuck that shit is now, and whatever, you got enough time to know. You are very much computer literate to know how to do this shit. It's no excuse. I don't hear any excuses.
I agree because Memphis
ain't no damn excuse for you to say you can't get no job. God damn, Memphis. Damn. Memphis got a lot of jobs that's coming up right out here.
Yeah, starting.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
Yep.
Shit.
You just pathetic. You can't find no fuck. Damn.
Yeah.
The reason being you can't find a job is because you don't want a job. You want to be you can't survive off of making $11 an hour doing bullshit. Get that 15-hour hell you go and move up.
Yeah, and with
My next goal, dude, I'm gonna announce it right here. My next goal with Amazon, my next goal is to be team leader. Hopefully by 2 or 3 months, I do that shit. That's my next goal. Cause I ain't gonna let nobody. I ain't finna let no damn new hire walk in and like FedEx is, walk in the door and all of a sudden become team leader like FedEx. Team leaders are fucking rampages. You know, I was told just suck that shit up. No, I ain't got to suck nothing up. I ain't finna let, and that's the same thing I'm saying. Amazon. I ain't finna let nobody that ain't even got their foot in the goddamn door yet become a team leader before I will. Fuck that. And if you want Craig Smith to leave a job quick, yeah. I've gone on record. I when I'm unhappy and ain't nothing resolved, I'm leaving.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, but yeah, FedEx folks, protest. If you feel that you being mistreated, protest. That's all I got to say on that. If they fire you, if they fucking fire you, let them fire you. As long as you got your money saved up. Matter of fact, if I was you, you better start looking for a job now if you're going to protest. I ain't saying, you know, have something to fall back on. If you're a veteran, you're going to school, you're going to get school money for school and stuff like that. Take care of your business, go to school.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
All right, Jimmy. We got a question here. It's not a fan question. I think we need to somebody is calling. This fan here is calling for us to defend our championship. And she has a problem. All right. This young lady's name is Asia. She's from Memphis, Tennessee. And the title of this is Baby Mama. Need the champion. Baby Mama, need your help. Okay. She said, hello, Jimmy. Hello, Craig. She said, I listened to some shows late on Craig's Let's Draw on Something where Craig has boldly gone on record by saying that he and Jimmy are the defending champions of the people that get over, the men and women that get fucked over by the fuck boys and fuck girls. Well, I need your opinion on this, on something. Well, on this or something, whatever I'm reading. So she said, I'm currently with my boyfriend as of right now. We've been dating for about 6 months. Only one problem. I don't have no children, but he has one. He has a daughter. He has a daughter. Problem is, every time when I'm around, the baby mama is around. She said something just seems kind of fishy to me.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that, you know, she said, I can understand that, yeah, my boyfriend has to maintain a relationship with his daughter's mom in regards to her. But it seems like she's there almost every day. Almost every day. I'm conflicted as to whether I need to say something. Should I say something to him about this or question him about why is she over here? Why is she here every day when I come over here? Or whatever. A part of me feels like most of the time I feel like if he's still messing with her, or if she's just or if she's babysitting, who knows? Or maybe she's trying to spy on me, trying to get some good dirt on me. I said, gentlemen, I mustered up the courage one day to ask her, why is she over here? Now I'm just saying, because I'm going where I'm going with this letter. I'm just reading like it is. Asia said, I mustered up the courage one day and asked my boyfriend's baby mama, why is it that she's over here every day when I come over here? Said she tried to give me some little bullshit ass answer, but I didn't believe it. I still honestly think that he probably tells her that I'm on my way over and stuff like that. So we're about to go out and everything, and she just shows up. Do you think that she is trying to pull some fuck girl shit with me? And if so, I would like your opinion on that. And also, do you two gentlemen have have you two gentlemen dated a woman that had a child and you had to deal with the fuck boy baby dads? Thank you for answering my question, Asia.
There's only one relationship that I know of that I had direct contact with somebody's baby daddy, and normally it was brief. We was out partying together and stuff like that, so it was never nothing major like that. First of all, you need to ask him about that shit as opposed to the baby mama.
Right.
I think that's mistake number one you making. No, that's the first mistake you probably made is going to her about that. You only go to her after
the fact.
After the fact. But it sounds like, and this is not me pissing on you or anything like that. It sounds like you got a little jealousy there. Because one thing that's gonna happen is if he's raising the kids or she raising the kids or whatever, and he's any kind of father, that's the good thing about this whole situation. Yeah. It's showing that he's at least being around he's
his daughter.
He's a good father, so I give him props to that. But it sounds like a little bit of jealousy. I could be wrong on it. That's what it sounded like.
Yeah, I mean, interject. I think so too. And Asia, let me say the good thing now. The only way I can see that the baby mama started coming around while you there every day is if the dad ain't doing a motherfucking thing. Okay. Huh?
I agree.
But if he's being a good dad, and I kind of I can tell by with this question of how you emailed it, I got nothing against you. You were frustrated. I hope you're not jealous about that.
Yeah, because
and really, and hold up, and really, you should basically, because see, with you coming up to his daughter's mom like that, that's gonna give her something. That you basically just handed her the keys to the bar quote from Nick Nurse. You basically just handed her the keys to the ignition on something that's for her to go back and tell that, hey, your girlfriend confronted me about this and about that, about why I'm over here every day, about this and about that. Really being like Jimmy said, because I'm gonna share my story about I had to put about me putting a fuck boy in his place after I'm done with this. Really, like Jimmy said, you should have went to him about it and saw from his standpoint.
Yeah.
Now, if he's going back telling her every fucking day, most times, like say she over there every day, but when I can understand, like from Asia on your point, you want to try to keep the peace. But really, giving his baby mama the keys to that by coming up to her like that, that's not the way to go. So a part of me feels you're a little bit jealous, and you really don't need to be. Now, if their daughter don't have a bad thing to say about you or whatever, if I were you, I would think about his daughter. Because if the child didn't go back to her mom and say a bad thing about you, don't kind of ruin that perception. So, and see, you got to realize, as much as I hate to say it, you with your man who got a daughter by another woman, that's a package fucking deal. The daughter and vice versa. Package deal is this. Hey, you with me, you with my daughter, or you with my son. That's the original package deal. Some of these new package deals is this now. You with me, you with my daughter, with my son, and plus you got to deal with date with my baby daddy. That's not necessarily the motherfucking case. Never. So if I were you, I would go back and question him about it. You know, because they just say, I don't want to try to seem like I'm jealous or anything. You know, I understand it's a package deal, it said, but you know, she's over here more times than I am. So what's up? You know, find out about it. And then if he give you, you know, if he feel like you feel like you getting motherfucked, hey, guess what? The deal is off.
Yeah.
On it.
At that point, you need to walk out. But here's the thing, too. If you feel like this man is probably still messing with his baby mama, your best bet is probably don't mess with. And I say this all the time. Best thing to do is not mess with dudes that have children to begin with.
Thank you.
That's gonna be your best bet, because if he's any kind of father, he needs to be seeing his goddamn kids. You know?
True. And it's best for you women to mess with dudes that don't have children.
It's best. It's best because
and want children.
Yeah, because a lot of times with a guy that don't have children, I don't know about your situation of having children or not. If you have children or not, that's another thing in itself too. If you would like to reply to this, that's more than welcome. I would like to know if you have children of your own, so I can get a good feel of where you're coming from.
Well, I skipped over one part. I can answer that now. I skipped over one part on that email because I overlooked. Say she doesn't have any own. She doesn't have none.
She doesn't have any own. So, baby, it's best for you to date somebody that don't have children. There's plenty of men out there that's established that don't have children. I say about 50% of men, black men, don't have children. I don't know if what nationality is she, but sounds like a black woman. But I'm gonna assume this is a black woman. 50% of black men don't have children.
Right.
Which means taking away dudes that go to, you know, is same sex. You got like 40 to 45%, 43% at the lowest available men out there. So it's plenty more than enough men out there that don't have children that you can build with, that you don't have to look over your shoulder and be like, why this woman's over here and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So your best bet, if that really bothers you, you probably just need to get with a guy that don't have kids. That's probably your bet. Sometimes it's better to get with somebody. If you don't have kids, sometimes it's better to get somebody that don't have kids. That way you can build together. And then if y'all decide to do have kids, then that'll be a good thing. You want to adopt, you want to, you know, cohabitate and make some, you know, that's a whole nother thing. You know what I'm saying? But whereas, you know, if he's a good father, his kid's gonna be around. The baby mama's gonna kind of be around. Now, if you feel like something's going on, you need to question
then you got you know, like that's what I'm saying. Asia, if you feel something going on, then you better question him about it. And if he confirm it, leave. Like Jimmy J and I said, get with a guy. You don't have children of your own. And I'm pretty sure if you want children, hey, get with a guy that don't have none himself.
Because really,
but it's not, because ladies, it's not fucking good to be with men. And here's another thing that pisses me off. Stop selecting these goddamn men that you want to be with because they fucking look fine and shit, and they got all these goddamn babies. They ain't taking care of. Don't be the next victim.
Exactly. You know,
shit, y'all stupid as hell. Y'all some stupid ass women when y'all kill with that shit, man.
You know, the only reason why I could see a woman really being with a guy that have a gang of kids, he got enough money to support all them goddamn kids.
And but no, Jimmy.
Stop. Let me say this. That's the only exception to that rule right there. Now, if he's a rich dude like that, that's a whole nother avenue. But even that can be drama. That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
There. You know,
it was a double-edged sword, but most of these women be get with these niggas that ain't got that motherfucker can't fucking get a goddamn job at fucking Popeyes.
Exactly. Now that's a problem. Now that's a problem.
But I love him.
That's a problem. That's a whole problem right there. Now, if it ain't no guy that got his shit together, that's a problem in itself. Now, if he's a professional baby daddy, you don't want to end up with a professional baby daddy, no, regardless of what type of source of income he's got bringing in. Because now, you know, if he's a rich professional baby daddy, at least you got something to fall back on. But the problem is you got jealous ass baby mamas at that point. So with that, you kind of want to get with somebody. Your best option is to get with somebody that don't have kids, that got their shit together. And I say got their shit together. Because if he a nigga that don't got kids, that's been in and out of jail for stupid shit that he did, that's a problem in itself. That's a problem in itself. But please continue.
But yeah, that's the best advice I can share. Now, to answer your question, you know, Jimmy did answer his. I got a good story to tell here. Shout out to Nadia Holmes and her daughter KK. This is about, I think, because I forgot what year KK graduated high school. Maybe I think this is around about 2017. KK needed some money to go on this field trip she been wanting to go to. So she had asked her dad, I'm gonna say his name. His name's Mikey P. Little Mikey. Asked her dad for the money. And he was jiffing around, bullshitting around, talking about I have to see what I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna see. It was $30. Okay. Now at the time I was living in Huntsville, Alabama. So I could tell it now, because something like that, man, like, you know, some things I didn't need to tell my wife at the time what I did with my money. But long as everything was taken care of in the household, that was first and foremost.
Yeah.
So KK had called me, and she asked me if I had the money. I said, well, when you need it? She said, I need it. I told my dad for the past 3 days I need it by tomorrow so I can go on my trip, because if I don't go on this trip, you know, and it was a field trip that was real important to her. She wanted to go. I said, okay. I said, hold on, let me see what I got. I said, KK, let me see what I got in my account, see what I can stretch. I said, in the meantime, tell your mama to get up off her duff, stop running her mouth, and get in the car and go to Walmart, because I'm finna head there now. She said, okay. Did the Walmart to Walmart, did Walmart to Walmart and everything. And I didn't send her 30. I sent her 60. So she can have some money for herself in her pocket, in case they're gonna go out to eat or whatever. This is long before Cash App and all this other stuff came in existence.
Yeah.
So I done that. And I called her mom, told her, I said, hey, here I inboxed her mom the transaction number, stuff like that. KK inboxed, well, her mama, I used to date her mom. She inboxed me back, told me, she said, oh, Craig, thanks. She said, hey, KK was shocked you sent her $60. I said, yeah, I said, when she in the field trip, I know she's gonna get hungry. So, and you know, and sometimes, you know, KK's problem was she would run and tell, like, for every black person they get money, got to run back and tell everybody. So her, you know, love her to death. So her dad calls her, hits her up on the day she's supposed to have her money, talking about some, oh, I ain't had the money. I meant to tell you about it. So KK went ahead and told her daddy, told Mikey, that's all right. Said no, that's all right. I went on ahead and said I got it anyway. So he figured it out where he got where KK got the money from. And so I remember that story very, very really well. I get an inbox from his ass, my messenger, and he tells me, talking about some, I ain't need you to do that for my daughter and stuff like this and that. That's what she got it. That's what she got a daddy for. So you need to worry about being and told me in a blunt way. I'm talking about you. So you need to worry about trying to become a dad with your wife. You gotta stop trying to take care of somebody else's child ain't yours. That's what she got a dad for. I said, okay. So I responded in kind to him, and I told him, I said, first of all, Mike, I appreciate Mikey. His name, I call him Mikey. His name is Michael. I said, well, first of all, Michael, I appreciate you. I appreciate the time you took to inbox me about, telling me what I need to do. I said, but I think a simple "you're welcome" comes into mind because I said, hey, the stuff you supposed to be doing, your child should nobody else be doing.
Yeah.
I said, you're her father. You motherfucked, and I told him, you motherfucked her around with me as far as her getting the money. She was looking forward to going to that trip, and I came through for her. I said, so I'm sorry that she asked me, because in actuality, and come to find out, KK's mom was Mikey's ex-wife. He actually was playing B to ask for the money. I was playing A. Because KK, her mama, her brothers, and her mom and her grandmama, and everybody knew if I didn't have it fully, I was gonna make a way to make sure she had something. And I don't believe in disappointment. I don't care how old a person's child is, 16, 13. I don't believe in seeing a disappointment. And the one thing that'll piss me off, I don't believe in seeing disappointment, hurt, and anger on a child's face because their parent didn't come through for them. That's one thing that can be said that can be said about me. They say Craig don't like that shit. And really, and guys, and let me tell you something, guys, if you going out the way for the last nigga's child and shit, and he get fucking mad, let him.
Exactly.
Let him. Because that's a lesson that he need to learn. Huh?
My roommate. Talking to my roommate. Yeah.
Because that's a lesson that he need to learn himself about how to be a better father. So I told Mike, to make a long story short, I told him, man, I said, hey, I appreciate, I said, man, if you gonna hit me up in my inbox, you need to be talking about like some comic books or something like that. I said, but if you mad because of the fact that I stepped in and help and put a smile on your daughter's face so she went on that trip, and then plus she got her something to eat while en route, then it's something serious wrong with you, partner.
Mm-hmm.
So then her mama hit me up, and so all while everything what I said, so he didn't say nothing. So I screenshotted what was said and send it to KK's mama. I said, he gonna call you and try to lie. So here's the one up on this shit. So hours later, I get a call from her mama. I said, oh shit. I said, look, don't tell me you gonna I said, before you do anything, I said, you better not decide with this nigga like the last time. I said, cause you like the last time you did, cause that's what broke us up. She said, no. She said, She said, one, you was right. Said, because he called and he texted me and told me that I inboxed him some bullshit talking about I had to take care of your daughter and stuff like that. And said, well, all along. Said, oh, really? Said, well, I'm looking here that you hit Craig up. And I should have told you that from the jump. Don't jump up in Craig's inbox because he did something your ass supposed been doing. Your ass supposed been doing. He did it. She said, now I'm telling you, don't inbox Craig no more. Unless it's a question about comic books or something else like that. So yeah, that was my story. Me dealing with a little fuckboy dad, and then for him to be older, he's 4 years older than me. You would think he would know better, but he don't. But the moral, but really the moral of Asian story, we'll email with this and we ask the fuckboy questions is, ladies, don't date, do not date a man with a multitude of children he can't provide for.
Agreed.
Period.
Totally.
That's
agree.
all I got to say on that one.
Totally agree with that.
All right, man. You got anything you want to add? Cause I'm out. Cause man, we had a good old
almost 4 hours.
4 hours. Shit, it's pretty informative. Pretty informative 4 hours.
Yeah, and that's what I like about this show is we're pretty informative about everything, man. But the next show we have, we're definitely gonna go into the next episode or 2 episodes about the
Last Dance.
With Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? I think the next one is gonna be Dennis Rodman, and then I think the episode after that, I don't know exactly what it's gonna be, but that's gonna be a story.
And you know, Joy was sipping his cognac.
Yeah, but like I say, man, and I'm glad. Not only what I liked about this show today is you confirmed everything that I've been telling people for years about Juanita and her family. You've been telling Pete. I've been telling people about this for years, and I was like, when he started saying about her family, I'm like, oh shit. I've been telling
who, me?
15. Yeah, I mean, but you know more about this because you're from Chicago. You know, you Chicago since you was like a adolescent, but you know, this stuff I already knew because you know people talk. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, I got at least 100 family members in Chicago, so you know, you know, it's a lot of things that go on that people was not aware of because when Michael and Juanita was first talking about divorcing, calling it quits. That's when those rumors started flying around.
And I can say this here in Chicago, that wasn't no shock. I wasn't even in Chicago, but like I said, work, you know, hey, I got family members that tell me something. And here's something else which you didn't know about Michael Jordan as a person. When my cousin Ruth, Miss McBride, so it won't be confused. I would call her whatever, Miss Irby, my cousin Raymond Irby, that's his mom. Like I said, Miss Ruth, you know, when said she would have loved to work for Michael Jordan in the long run because he's very informative. See, because like he said, he ain't said what he was on the court. He left that on the court. When he came home, he was Mike. And said like one day he had a taste for some because like Sundays when they weren't playing, like if they had off for like just say like if they were off for 4 days. And what a lot of people didn't know said Mike will get in the kitchen and cook when he felt like it. But when he said he want him and Juanita one time had a taste for soul food, straight soul food. He's a big cornbread eater. He don't want Jiffy Mix. He want that shit from scratch. He want that shit from scratch. That's how he want. He want that corn. He want the cornbread from scratch. And then there were several times, like he would get on Juanita, like with stuff like with the ballpark Franks with endorsements, because they'd be dropping off shit at his house. If he have enough of it, he said one time he got on Juanita about throwing it away. He said, "Whoa, don't throw that away." He said, we got ballpark buns. He said, hey, we got enough ballpark. He said, this is what you do. He said, how many cases, like one time he had a full deep freezer full of the ballpark hot dogs and the buns, right?
And he got a big ass deep freezer. That's another.
Yeah, it was a small. He had a big ass deep freezer. He said, but what all they would do, he would tell my cousin, "Hey, just take it down into the homeless shelter or something like that. It's got a bunch of people to starve." Juanita would throw all that shit away. And he would tell her, "No, stop that, man. He said, that's money you throwing away. You should get that money, take it down into the homeless."
or take it down to the Michael R. Jordan boys club so the kids could eat out there.
Yeah, that's what they would do, and that's what they would do. That was one. I think that was one because that's what they would do. Take it to all the different boys clubs and stuff like that, so they have something to eat and stuff like that or whatever. But other than that, man, he was like, man, we don't need all this. He said, the kids got enough.
Yeah.
So he would get instead. Mike would get in there, man. If Blends would cook, Mike would get in there. He'll hey, if he had a taste for something, he'll whip out. He whipped out a skillet. He whipped out a pot or whatever, and he'll fix something to eat because they said Mike knew how to cook. But they said, he was down to earth dude, man. He said that one thing I'm not, because he did say that he said the real reason why he told her the real reason why he didn't play that 93-94 season.
Mm-hmm.
And it had something to do with his dad, man, because he said he couldn't. He said that that still had an impact on him.
Yeah, I mean, everybody saw that having an impact on him. Him losing his father because his father was always at the games, and he had to play basketball when he came back in 1995 without seeing his father and stuff like that. And his father was a real big influence. And, as a child, he wasn't close to his father like that. He wanted his dad to get approval. He wanted his dad approval, but he wasn't close to his father like that. He was more so close to his mother. But as he got older, he grew closer to his dad as he got older. And when he finally made it in the NBA and, the Olympic team and stuff like that, that he grew closer and closer to his dad. And then all of a sudden his father got killed, with, I think, $500,000 in his car. He had like $500,000 from because I remember on WGN, they was talking about it. They covered that heavily, and he had money in his he had like $500,000 in his car when he got, whoever murdered him, I don't know exactly.
Yeah, there was two guys that murdered.
Yeah, so money. So that looked like,
I think they still in jail now.
Yeah, that looked like they meant to kill him. I mean, and that wasn't even a robbery in my personal opinion, because he had a whole gang of money in his car.
Might have been a hit.
Yeah,
a lot of people speculating this. And, we don't mean to draw this is a Jim J. Smooth Network extra, by the way. A lot of people speculating this, because Jordan liked to gamble a lot. He a high stakes gambler.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe somebody got tired of that man winning a lot. Maybe hell, can't say Jordan owed some goddamn body. It was impossible. But they did.
I agree with that. He didn't owe nobody because his net worth at that time when his father got killed was like $400 million. So that's not even. And then he was going into, like I say, he owned real estate at that time up in Chicago. He owned prime real estate on the lakefront. So that didn't make any sense. So yeah, now that you brought that up, I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, because now, hold on a second. No, I don't. Yeah, but anyway, I did. I did. A lot of people were speculating about it, and Jordan never had anybody. I'm probably saying, Rudy, Jordan have any gambling? Michael Jordan never owed nobody. So yeah, he had. It's been confirmed that in some cases, and I think, and to be honest, Juanita was on his ass about that. That's what I heard. Juanita was on his ass about that shit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't blame him for that. He would go to like Vegas and shit like that. Like he'll play like high stakes poker, blackjack. They say that might have put down if he'll win him 100,000 and turn around and lose 10,000. Sometimes more than that. And he don't, and I think he don't gamble like that anymore, man. He getting older. Jordan, the great one would be 3 years from hit the big 6-0.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he never,
he gambled big, he won big, he lost big. But did he care about losing big? No, he didn't. Because he was gonna get it back anyway. So so that's how it was. But a lot of people say that that George's dad got killed because he owed a casino gambling debt. No, that's not true. He never owed nobody anything in casino. I just think that
Thank you.
this was I just think that this was a but like the big question is what his dad was doing at the time with $500,000 in the doggone car. But what I think would happen was this was more than just a robbery. It was a robbery and a murder combined, and they probably been following and them two dudes was probably following his dad for the longest.
Yeah, because that's what, and people dismiss that, but I think WGN at the time, because my dad did not at the time. My dad did not turn from the station to WGN at all, because they had coverage of his father being found dead the whole day, and he did not change the channel at all. He did not change the channel at all. So, and people forget about that. He had money in the car. It's not talking about that, but he did. I remember that
he had some bread. He had money in the car. And one thing, one thing about like I've gone on record and said about Chicago. There's only a certain amount of people that can talk bad about my city.
Exactly.
And that's the person. And I don't have to say it anymore. And that's the person that's Jimmy J has been friends with for the longest. Me and other Chicagoans. Like, for example, Lightfoot shut the shitty down. The shitty. Lightfoot shut the shitty. Wow. Say that 7 times fast. Lightfoot then shut Chicago down until June with the stay-at-home order. So, but say that Lightfoot shut the shitty down 7 times and get back with me real fast. But can't nobody here in Memphis, now, like our fellow neighbors up there in Madison, Wisconsin, and again, I ordered my cousin's book, dude. I'm gonna get that. I suggest Jim you order too. 7 and 25.
To get the book, I need a link to send that because I tried to find it and I couldn't get no search in my search engine. Okay.
Yeah, I sent you the picture of it. But he don't spell John Elliot. His name is Joneliot. That's how he spell Elliot.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah. So just go on Amazon, type in J. Elliott Smith, and you're gonna see a guy's face smiling in black and white, say 7 and 25. So but really in the circles of Chicago, that pipeline, you got parts of Michigan and you got parts of Wisconsin, especially like Madison and everywhere else. They got their problems to worry about too. But stuff around about Chicago travels up there quick too. But they got a right to know. That's the neighbor. Wisconsin, Michigan, Illinois, they're neighbors. And you also got Gary, Indiana, the roughest, toughest town in Indiana, the little suburb of Chicago, which is like the equivalent to South Haven, Mississippi here. Like the equivalent to South Haven, Mississippi. But yeah, that was coverage itself about Jordan's father, man. And that was like, wow, as well. So then when he said that he was retiring from the game, everybody, I think he pulled the biggest work there ever was with the NBA by saying he wanted to play baseball. No, let's be real. He needed time to clear his head about after what happened with his dad, with his pops, man. I would have done the same thing. And then come back fully focused.
Yeah, he definitely need to, because I can't blame Mike for retiring, because I'm glad you just brought that up with his father's death and him not
Mhm.
owing gambling debts, because now that shuts down right then and there, because like I said, you're a Chicagoan, you're in contact with your people from Chicago very heavy, so that shuts down anything. And then him having the network that he had, that wouldn't have made any sense. And then his endorsements, and then
Right.
his endorsements was heavy. And then here's what a lot of people don't know either: he was still the highest paid Bulls player, and he was not
Mhm.
playing for the Bulls. The Bulls, in their contract, they still had to pay him, whether he retired or he didn't retire.
That's true.
You can look this
That's
up
not,
on sportsreference.com and go under player salary. This is
yep.
well documented. I'm not even making this up. You can just look this up. He was the highest paid player.
That is true. That's true.
So a lot of
He
that
was still making 36, 37 million a year. Even when he took a year off, he still was making some money. So
yeah. And then he was still getting his endorsements. That comes the entire 12 months. But he was making that money during the NBA season. The NBA salary, the salary that he made. But I'm glad you brought that up again, man, because that people got to put things in perspective, So yeah, it definitely was a hit on his father's part, man. And like I said, I remember as a 9-year-old kid, looking at WGN all damn day, Dad was like, don't change that damn channel. He didn't want the channel to be changed, because and that's what it was. We was looking at WGN for at least 20 hours in the entire day, until they found Mr. James Jordan's body, unfortunately, man. And that's definitely an unfortunate situation right there, man.
Yep. Hey, go on the private chat. I sent you the link.
Okay.
So, and just let me know you're gonna be able to click on that. So
Okay.
yeah, but you'll, because his face, you'll see his face first. He got a beret on. But yeah, man, just to clarify that up. But yeah, again, like Jimmy J said, we got a action-packed show next week. Like I say, we're gonna review part 3 and part 4, and along with some other bullshit happenings that's been going on. But with that being said, I don't have nothing. But just make sure y'all take it.
Your boy don't have nothing,
so just make sure y'all take care of yourself during this COVID crisis, and keep your mask on, your gloves on. Yeah, and we also got to talk about these little phase plans since Texas, the Lone Star State, keyword is loan, since they didn't open back up. We're gonna talk about these plans that Southgate, Mississippi, and the state of Tennessee is gonna implement with these 4 phases of opening everything back up next week. And Jimmy, you read about South Haven's plan, so we're gonna talk about that.
Bits and pieces of it. I haven't read it.
And other ramblings.
Yeah.
So I ain't got nothing.
Your boy ain't got nothing, and this your boy, live and direct in full effect out the 832 with my boy out the 662, and y'all already know how both of us do. Good night. Stay y'all ass in this house if y'all ain't got to go nowhere. Don't drink and drive with your black asses, and bunk asses shouldn't be drinking and driving any goddamn way. And just, stay safe. Peace out.
And the pleasure has been all yours. And stay our ass at home.
Peace.
Peace out.